Hello, 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 everyone. Good evening. Good evening. Good to see you guys. Brat. All right, number one. Good evening, PG. Much love. God bless. Summer Moon, Utah Wells. Miss Norway. Prayers and much love. Love and light to everyone in chat. Hey, girl. God bless. That is beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Hey, keys to Mama's heart. Number two. Much love, PG and Summer's Army. Purple Hearts for Summer. God bless, girl. God bless you. Number two in here tonight. Let's see who's number three. Hey, Bridget, you number three, girl. Hello, PG. Glad to hear from you tonight. Much love for you and God bless you and much love for Summer Moon Utah Wells. All right. Purple Hearts for Summer. God bless. I appreciate that. Number three. Number four, Miss Justice. 1111. Much love, PG. There you go, girl. Hey, top four again. Top four again. God bless. Hey, Seeking Truth, how you doing, honey? Good to see you in here. There's our Australia. And let me see. Get down through here. See who else is in here tonight. The legendary. How you doing? Oh, that is beautiful. That is beautiful. Absolutely. Yeah, if you could and if you would, please hit the like button. Hit that like button. It's free and it supports Summer's channel. Keeps these kids out here. Absolutely. No summer, no peace. Amen. Absolutely, girl. Uh oh, I appreciate that. I appreciate that, Bridget. Doing all we can. We're doing all we can to get her found. Everything we can do, we are trying to do it. Hey Janet, how you doing tonight, sweetie? God bless. Uh oh wow. Prayer Garden of America gifted 5 Prayer Garden of America memberships tonight. All right. Way to go. Way to go, Prayer Garden. All right. Um says 7:30 when she was to be on. Is PG coming on tonight? Says 7:30 when she was to be on. I don't know where it said I was supposed to be on at 7:30. I have no idea. I have no idea. I didn't post nothing. I just kind of come in when my day is settled down enough for me to do so. Right. Hey, see how you doing tonight? Good to see you, Angel. Georgia Wild Child, Grieving Mama, Lucky, how you guys all doing tonight? Good to see everybody. Hey, Suzanne, there you are. Auntie Sherry. Oh, Auntie Sherry's in here. How you doing, Auntie Sherry? Good to see you, sweetie. Raven Rose, how you doing? Oh, Grieving Mama, that is beautiful. Prayers for all. Hey, God bless. God bless. Prayers for you. Prayers for you, sweetie. Um, hey, Brat. I appreciate that. Absolutely. God bless. All right. Let me oh, these are beautiful. Aw, Auntie Sherry says thank you for not giving up. Hey girl. Um we ain't gonna give up until we see what law enforcement's about to do. About to do. Hopefully they're about to do something. Dorothy, how you doing, sweetie? Hey PG. I love you, girl. I love you too. You know it. You know it. Hey, Angel, I appreciate that. All right, Angel became a YouTube member. I appreciate that, girl. God bless. Appreciate the support for Summer's channel. Absolutely. Okay, I'm at the bottom. Um, I hope I didn't miss anybody. I think I did. I think I did. I just seen Shy. Hey girl, how you doing? Number 24. Give the channel a like. Amen. There you go, girl. There you go. Almost missed you. I went back and get you. Oh, you tell Maddie I said hugs and kisses to her, girl. God bless. She's a sweetheart. Absolute sweetheart. Tell her I said mind her mama. She best be minding her mama. Mama always knows best. Oh, that is so sweet, Auntie Sherry. We love you too. We love you too. For real. All right. Um, what is law enforcement doing in the Summer Wells case? Is there a reason? Is there a reason? I mean, we already know so much. We know so much. I mean, I think I think the majority of people, nobody wants to give up hope. Nobody wants to give up hope in a missing child's case. None of us, not a single one of us, want to give up any hope um, when it comes to a missing child's case. But you know, in Summer's case, in Summer's case, you know, it's like obvious. It is very obvious that they go they go into Kingsport. They pick a 15-year-old kid up, that's sitting there waiting on them. Him and Candace are, texting, and then they make a phone call, right? They make a phone call because, texting's not good. So they make a phone call for him, her to come get him. And who knows what they talked about? Nobody knows because, phone calls ain't recorded, right? They're not recorded. So the only thing law enforcement can do is see where one number called the other number. That's it. They don't know what was, said during that conversation unless somebody's recording. And I don't think Hunter was, and I don't think Candace was. So, there was no recording there. So we don't know what was, transpired between Candace and Hunter. We just know that Candace went and picked him up. And then they picked up Grandis, and then they start their routine, right? They go and pick up cigarettes and some twisted tea and God only knows what else at a couple of smoke places. And then they head off to Walgreens to put in the prescription. Then they head off straight over to Warriors Path Park and the horse pond. And they, she whips out the camera there, points it at Hunter. Hunter gives her this weird look like, what are you doing? And then, she flashes it around and he ends up going into the water and the video goes off. The next video we see is them about 3.2 miles from Ben Hill Road with Summer in the back seat laying on some milk jugs, looking like, she's no longer with us in this world. And I don't think she was. That's my opinion. I do not believe Summer was with us on those milk jugs. It looks too staged up. Absolutely. It's too staged up. But the point being is, why is law enforcement? I mean, if we know this, and Ronnie Lawson says, go ask them YouTubers to ask Don and Candace why they waited 4 hours to call law enforcement. Well, where does that put Summer? Back on the milk jugs. It's exactly where it puts her. Back on the milk jugs. So that's the thing. And if they know this, and this is the questions they're asking, and these are the answers they want, then why has something not been done? I mean, why have they not pressed the issue even harder to learn the truth. Why, I mean, law enforcement, if law enforcement wants you, you will be going in. I mean, if they have to come get you, you're going in for questioning. I mean, they'll come pull up at your house, you know, um, and forcefully take you if they want you. If they got questions that they want you to answer, I mean, they'll come pick you up, take you downtown. You have to, people say I don't have to talk to law enforcement. Oh, yes, you do. That's why sometimes you have to get a lawyer to go with you. That's why sometimes you have to say, if I'm not under arrest, then I'm leaving, right? That's why you say, you get read your rights. You get read your rights. Anything you say can and will be held against you in a court of law. So, and that's why you have a right to an attorney. That's why you have a right to say nothing until you get a lawyer. So they can pull you in and talk to you. I mean, if they're wanting to talk to you, you have, it ain't like, nah, I'm not going to talk to you. You have to go talk to them. Your lawyer might be able to hold it off, but your lawyer even is going to tell you, you best go in. You best be talking. They want to talk to you or they'll get you on suspicion. They can do that. They can say you're under arrest, under the suspicion of so-and-so or doing this or that or whatever, and they can just take you on in. So that shows that, all they have to do is suspect. And if you're not cooperating, then they're probably going to suspect you, right? So anyhow, I'm not understanding why, they know that Grandis and Candace and Hunter was all three with Summer that morning at that swimming pond. They know that, this video looks all staged up. And here's my question. Why did they not take Candace and Grandis and Hunter downtown? Why did they not take them down there, and interrogate each one of them separately? Why did they not, tell Allison, we want you to bring your son in tonight, not tomorrow, tonight, to talk with us. You need to bring your son down here and talk with us. Not go to Hunter's house and talk, but you bring your son to us because we need to talk to him. And Allison, would have had to take Hunter down there. Now, she could have, opted to get a lawyer. But point being is, if she opts to get a lawyer, that tells us a whole lot. That tells law enforcement a whole lot. I'm not understanding why law enforcement wasn't pushing to get the truth about everything that really went down on June 15, 2021 for the sake of this innocent 5-year-old little girl. It don't seem to me like, from day one, it don't seem to me like they were really trying to solve this case. And that's a big red flag. Just like they didn't seem to be, bringing in everyone they could to, search for Summer. I mean, they picked a selective group of people to, to come out there and search. When, Carly Trent went up missing, they didn't select a certain group of people. No, Ronnie Lawson and his, old boys said, hey, anybody and everybody that wants to come out and search, come out and search. We need all the help we can get. We got a whole lot of, ground to cover, and we need to cover it. We need to find this missing child. Everybody that wants to come out here needs to come out here. he got a selective few. I'm not understanding that. I'm not, unless he felt that he couldn't trust his selective, his everyone to come search. Maybe he felt that he needed this selective few because, like Carly Trent, for instance, she was, wherever she was with another adult. They knew Carly Trent was with this grown adult man wherever she was. So maybe that could have been a difference. I mean, because Summer would have been, if they really believed she wandered off, she would have been alone and bringing in everyone and anyone, could you really trust that? Could you really trust, I mean, I would hope you could trust people, everyone to, deliver the child back safely if they found it. But maybe law enforcement felt that around there they couldn't. I don't know. Put a one in the chat if you think that could have been why they got a selective few. I don't know. Just a thought. Just a thought. I mean, there's a lot of, a lot of weirdos, right? A lot of RSOs and everything down there around that particular area. Maybe they felt that they couldn't trust everybody and anybody to join in to search, because Summer would have been alone. She wouldn't have been with a grown adult needing to be, saved from. She would have been, out there by herself, and that could have been why they chose the selective few. Just a thought there. I don't know. I Carly Trent, I don't know. I heard that she was found upon or close to some law enforcement property, but I don't know. I mean, I haven't ever overly researched the Carly Trent case. I just know that the uncle had custody of her at one point, and he was doing bad stuff. So her dad ended up getting custody back from him because, he was doing bad stuff. And then the uncle went to the school and signed her out and disappeared with her. They went to Walmart, got some things and stuff, and then kind of disappeared into the woods, into some wooded area, and everyone was looking for them, and he had set up camp. He had set up some type of camp, out in the woods, and he had bought, some really weird stuff at Walmart. And I heard that it was the light boys that actually found her. So I don't know. I did hear something. About it was, some relation to Ronnie as well. And I heard that, that they were supposed to be on Ronnie's land or somebody else in law enforcement's land when they found her. I don't know. Like I said, I didn't get in there and research as much as, maybe I should have, but I I mean, I couldn't see anything that her case would have had to do with Summer's case other than the way law enforcement handled it. Like, letting everyone search for her where they were letting, just someone search for Summer. That's was the big difference. And that's what, I was mainly searching into was how they handled the two cases so much differently, as in the search. And gee, who are you talking to? Who are you talking to? Because you ain't talking to me. You ain't talking to me. Where was Can done a video today, but PG wasn't there. I heard about it. She was doing some weather video, but I wasn't there. So who exactly are you talking to? Why don't you answer that? Matter of fact, won't you take the link and come up? Won't you come up and tell me how I don't care and who I was sucking up to? Obviously, it was your lip sucking up because you knew she had a live today. You obviously watched that live today. PG didn't. I heard about it. Someone hit me up and said, hey, Can's had a live today. I said, really? What about? They said the weather, they thought. So they didn't overly even watch it. So come on, G. Oh, you're talking to Sherry. You're talking to Sherry. Oh, well, I thought you were talking to me. I was about to lose my shit up in here, right? That's what I was about to do. I'm like, nah, you telling me I was sucking up to Can? I don't think so. I don't think so. Not today. Not tomorrow. Not ever. Right? Mm-mm. Not PG. Hey, Cindy. God bless. Um, Candy. Um, my Sabbath was as good as it could be, right? It was as good as it could be. I mean, it was okay. It was okay. It went okay. It was nice. It was nice, having a day off. That's for sure. Um, Mercy. Um, yeah, yeah. I mean, anything's possible, especially in that area, honey. Especially in that area. I mean, I'm going to tell you, law enforcement. I mean, law enforcement is just normal humans. They're just like us. They're just like everyone else in the world. There's good ones. There's bad ones, right? They're just like they ain't nothing but human. I mean, a lot. You hear a lot of times where law enforcement's doing some pretty shady stuff, right? They get in trouble all the time. They be taking stuff out of the basically stealing stuff out of the you know um the room where the evidence room. They'll be doing a lot of bad things. Matter of fact, it was a. Have you guys ever seen that Lifetime movie where that particular officer was picking up young girls and taking them and out in wooded areas and tying their hands and stuff up to the tree? And I mean, that was a true story. I mean, and I mean, he did this. Um, for a while. He did it. He got away with it for a while until a couple girls got away. A couple of the girls, really fought to get loose, and the other one let the other one loose with her. It was her and her friend, and they got, they got away, and I was able to tell, and that's, when the other law enforcement, was able to move in and do something about it. But you know, these people, they're just humans. I mean, they do evil stuff too, right? I mean, trust nobody. Trust nobody. Matter of fact, there was like, there was like, there was just, uh, I think an officer that was following a young lady, and she wouldn't stop. She made sure she got where to a safe location, but he really, really, really was angry at her for, refusing to stop until she got it to a lighted area where a lot of people were, and so forth and so on. And, and find out there wasn't a whole lot of probable cause uh, for stopping her. From what I heard, allegedly, there was no probable cause for him stopping her to begin with. So, if there wasn't no probable cause, why was he trying? You know, I trust no one. Trust no one. Gee, what is your problem with Sherry? I think Sherry wants Summer found just as much as any of us do. I think she wants Summer found just as much as, why are we making people feel bad in here? I mean, that's not right. I know Sherry goes to Daisy's, and I know she goes to Jinkies, but she's allowed to go wherever she wants. And I think, we're kind of judging Sherry off of other people instead of judging Sherry for Sherry. And I can remember when Sherry was in here, and, she asked to talk to me. She wanted to talk to me about some stuff, um, to do with Summer and so forth and so on. And to help out, if she could. Why are we being so mean to her? I don't understand that. I don't understand it. But, I think Sherry's very much for Summer, if you ask me. I think we're all for Summer. Hey, Angel, I appreciate that. Thank you for being here for Summer. Hey, girl, I appreciate all of you being here for Summer. And, it's not right to be cruel. She goes and loves and praises Can on a regular. She's for the number one suspect. Um, is that what you heard, or is that what she does? Have you witnessed that? Now I don't know. I don't know how Sherry feels about Candace and Donald. I have no idea. I don't know. But you're entitled to your feelings. You're entitled to your feelings, G. Absolutely. Everybody's entitled to their feelings. I just don't like making people feel bad. Oh, Auntie Sherry says, I have I've never met them. She hasn't ever met them. Yeah, maybe she's staying close to get answers, you know? I know, when I first, got with the Wells, I thought, I wanted them to be innocent. I wanted them to, I wanted I wanted them to be innocent. I was hoping they was innocent, you know, and I just wanted to help find their daughter. I just wanted to, pitch in any way I could to help find Summer. I had no idea what I had just walked into, honey. I had no idea how these people were, what these people were, nothing. I mean, I don't think you could have walked into a more evil, sinister case if you tried to. I don't think you could have walked in to a more evil case than the Wells. And God knows I wasn't trying to walk into that circle of evilness. But, I didn't know. I didn't know till I was already there. And, and wow, and then once, I was in there and I figured out that, these people were super fucking evil. Even I tried to get everything I could for Summer's sake to help Summer, and I even tried to, come out and let people know, don't support them, don't support them. And Sherry says she hasn't ever gave them a red cent. She says she hasn't ever contributed even a red cent to the Wells. So, I don't think she's supporting them. Because Sherry, you know, supports a lot of people. I mean, she really, Day Day really racked up some money off of Sherry. And Jinkies racks up a pretty good amount of money off of Sherry. I heard Sherry say the other day, or maybe it was yesterday. I don't know. I don't know. But I did hear her say people needed to stop trying to use her for an ATM. And I agree. I agree. A lot of people is using Sherry, you know, like they're not protecting Sherry from other people. They're protecting Sherry for themselves. They don't want Sherry given to other people because then it would cut off some of the supply that she could be giving them. What I'm saying is they're protecting her for selfish reasons, right? And I know that. I can see it. I don't know if Sherry can see it, but I can see it. You know, I'm not. Sometimes you can't see the forest for the trees. Well, honey, I'm seeing the forest, and and I know what these people are doing. I know what they're doing. Yeah, it's not right. They say, well, Sherry can give whoever she wants money. It's her money, but we're going to protect her. And what they're saying is, Sherry can give us money. It's her money and she can give it to us if she wants, but we're going to protect her from giving it to anyone else. And that's just bullshit, to be honest with you. That's BS. So, I just think that, I'm going to tell you, people should love people for who they are, not what they got, not what they can get, but love people for who they are. You know, you should love people. You should want to help them. You know, you should want to help them, not be seeking to get no help. That's, that's unrighteous if you ask me. If you ask me, I don't know, but Sherry gives big bucks. She gives big bucks, and these guys. I think, personally, I used to think to myself, like, oh my goodness, Sherry, you shouldn't be doing this because, you know, you're going to need this money. This is your money to live off of the rest of your life, and you're going to need this money. You can't be affording to be handing it up in a way, like that. You can't just be throwing it away um, to these people. But you know, I don't know. She shouldn't give it to no one. She shouldn't give it to anyone, if you ask me. You know, maybe $5 to help them keep their channel running, or maybe $10 every so often. But she shouldn't be giving fifties and hundreds. Fifties and hundreds. I mean, two or three times a night. That's insane. That's insane. And and you shouldn't let any YouTubers call you up and talk you into giving them money. And a lot of these people do. A lot of these YouTubers call people up behind the scenes or get in with people behind the scenes and ask them for money. Like, man, that's damn embarrassing. That's embarrassing. I mean, really? You're going to go behind the scenes and say, "Hey, could you give me $100 or a couple $100, or I got this as 500, or I got that that's 1,000." Are you crazy? Right? What the hell is? I would be like, no, right? Hell to the no, no. Absolutely not. I'm not going to give you nothing. Period. And I'm going to tell you, you better watch them. You better watch them hillbilly country folks that try to act all nice and everything. Like, I'm just saying, I ain't trying to make no bad here. But you got to watch them people like Jinkies and Day Day, because those kind of folks right there, I've seen those kind of folks take many people to the cleaners. They always looking for some old lady or old man that ain't got nobody, and next thing you know, they're carrying dinner to their house and helping them pick up, helping them clean, running them here and there, and the whole time hoping to get, put in their wheel, hoping they will their house and their cars and all their monies and everything to this person. And I mean, that's freaking evil. That's evil. You shouldn't ever go a making. You shouldn't ever go a making. You know something like that. You should never go making friends with people who do that kind of stuff, man. I'm gonna tell you, I've seen it done. I've seen it with my own eyes, and I'm gonna tell you what. There's a special place in hell for folks like that. Straight up. What are you doing in a cellar, Sherry? Girl, I'm bringing you up. What
Hey,
you doing?
PG. I just want 5 minutes, please. Uh, yes, I have given to people in the past, and I have a bookkeeper. It's my caregiver's mother. She comes and does all my bills and does everything for me. And she said, no more cash apps anymore. No.
No.
And Jinky's told me the same thing. She's like, Sherry, no more money. Don't send me anything. Don't send anybody any money anymore. And I said, okay. It is for my trust fund. It is for my health care. And my caregiver, it costs me $3,000 a month to have a caregiver. And I have to have one. I
Right?
have to. I have to. The only way I got down into the basement is because I bought stair lifts. about 2 years ago, so I can get down here.
Right?
It, I mean, I, I, I spent a lot of my money on medical equipment to make my life easier, you know. And
That's right.
read what my shirt says, by the way. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me.
Amen.
Philippians 4:13.
Amen.
Look, I, no. Jinkies has told me, Daisy's told me, everybody's told me, don't do it anymore. My bookkeeper, caregiver's mother, she's a caregiver too. She feels head on the
Well,
weekends.
I'm glad they grow to conscience. I'm glad they finally, grow to
Well, no,
conscience
it's
and said
no
to not give to them. Because I'm
right.
going to tell you, be honest with you, Sherry. I know Daisy and Jinky's got the biggest amount of everything you've ever gave out there.
Probably
So,
so. I'm
absolutely,
not gonna lie.
absolutely.
I've given money to you too. I've given. Not, it might not have been too much, but I've quit. I've quit. I realize I'm getting older. I'll be
That's
69.
right.
I'll be 69 in July, and I really do take care of myself. I
And
got a
you
lot of.
might live to be 80 or 90, and you need
I
money to
might just
live.
stay around to aggravate the shit out of everybody.
Amen. Amen. That's right. Absolutely. You
Seriously.
know,
But I just want to tell you that no, they are like, no, Sherry, don't. They're not encouraging me to do that. It was
and
me. It was I. It was I. I was the one who wanted to give, and it's
well, you're a
making.
giver. You're a giver,
I
Sherry.
know Jiki said I have a
And
big. I have a big heart, but
and people take advantage of that, honey.
I know that, but they haven't. They
Oh, the
haven't.
hell if they didn't.
They look. They've both
I
been on my butt
I
about
I
it.
beg the difference there.
Well, they both been on my butt about it. Those two
But we
people.
will we will agree to disagree and hug it out, Sherry.
Okay, baby. I told you first time I ever meet you, if I ever do, what's the first thing I'm gonna do? Give you a big hug.
Amen. I'm giving you a virtual one right now.
I'm giving you one too. Seriously, but I do love people, and I don't want to see people suffer or struggle. But
Right.
I don't realize that I'm suffering and struggling myself.
That's right. That's right. And sometimes you have to stop and you have to think about you.
I
You
know,
got to think about
I
you,
know.
sweetie.
I was always my parents reared me, my mother especially. You put God first. He's
Amen.
number one. Your family is second.
That's right.
Your friends and those that you love are third, and yourself is last. So I've always lived by that principle. And now that I've gotten older and I've been around a few times, I understand that that's not always the case. And it might have been at the time my mother told me back in the 60s, but
I'm
not
going to tell
now.
you, Sherry, if you don't take care of you first, baby, you can't take care of no one else.
I know. I take care of my doggy.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
Have you
But you're,
seen my doggy?
yeah, yeah, cute, cute. You showed
Yeah,
it to us. Absolutely.
yeah, she's naked. You didn't
Yeah,
get.
that's for sure.
Wouldn't you know I'd have a naked dog, PG?
Right.
Sherry the Tata shower.
But you really do need to take care of yourself, Sherry. And
I am.
and
I
and,
am.
and
I wouldn't be
you
in
are.
this basement. I wouldn't be in this basement if I didn't care about myself or my dog. Seriously, we've had some pretty tornadic stuff today. And anyway, I just want to come up here and tell you that, PG, I love you. I've told Daisy that. Sherry
Absolutely.
has someone who is 71 now. Trust me, when you need help, where are any of these people? They, they, they are here. They will come. They will come. They will. Seriously, they will. All I have to do is pick up the phone and say, I need you to be here. But it has to be pretty damn serious for me to do that because I'm so independent. You know,
Right.
I gotta smoke my cigarette. And it's about time to feed my fish. I think everybody on YouTube knows what feeding my fish is. But that's my pain medicine. I don't take opioids, PG. I am in whatever you want to call it. What do you call it? Where you're supposed to go? Pain management. I manage my pain. I really don't even need that doctor.
Right. I tell
I
you.
asked him, I said, have you not ever smoked pot? And he's like, ah. Well, of course.
Right.
They don't care. I don't care. Who should care? And no, I'm not sending any more money out. I'm sorry. I'll send love to everyone until I know for complete truth, without a doubt, I'm going to love you unless I know that you've done something for sure that can be proven that I shouldn't love you for. But I will always love people, and I always have. And I'm very glad you let me up, and I thank you very much for your hospitality. And I don't know what that G's problem is, but I wouldn't be over here if I didn't think I was accepted by you, PG. And
Hey,
I
you're
wouldn't be
welcome.
over. I
You're
wouldn't be over
welcome
here.
here, Sherry.
I know I wouldn't be over here if I didn't respect you. I'm all the way. I'm always saying to Daisy, Jinkies, everybody, I love BG. I love BG. She she's done some things that we haven't done. And look, I love you, PG. And I don't.
Hey, I
I
love
don't.
you too, girl. You know it.
I know. And I just don't want people to start judging me, thinking I'm just a cheerleader for the wrong purpose because I'm not. And
I know that.
I'm pretty wise, and I'm pretty intelligent, and
Yes,
no,
absolutely.
you can't play around too much with me. Really,
Right.
I'll,
Absolutely.
I'll outwit you every time. I love you. I, lo- I love you.
And you,
Thank
Sherry,
you for letting me up, and
you're most welcome. You're most welcome. You
I love
know,
you.
I wish you had a Facebook. I'd like to talk to you outside
I don't. I've never had Facebook.
of YouTube, but you haven't.
I can get your email. I have some thoughts on some things you might want to hear.
Right. Well, if you could hit me up through email, and because I would like to speak with
Well,
you.
if somebody can put it in the chat, then I can put it in my email file.
Yeah, my mods will put it in the chat for you. And yeah, definitely, hit me up through my email and let me
Okay,
know it's you. Let me know it's you,
I will.
and I'll get back with you.
Okay, thank you.
Hey, I appreciate
I
you
love
coming,
you
girl.
guys, and some of you guys don't be so hard on everybody all the time. Please, be kind. I told somebody to be kind. They said, "Don't tell me to be kind. Who do you think you're talking to?" I'm like,
You know,
all I said was two words: be kind.
I
Damn,
try.
I get attacked for everything, PG.
I know you do, girl. I
I
know you
do.
do.
I don't care what I do. It's wrong.
I know you do. Absolutely.
I love you. I love
And
you.
I'll
I'll be
try to be
watching the rest.
kind.
I'll be watching the rest of your program as I usually do.
Okay,
You'd
girl.
be surprised. I do. I do. And what do you think I do? Hmm?
Because you support Summer.
You got that damn right.
You're one of her army. I know that.
Yes.
I know that.
Yes.
I love you,
Yes.
Sherry.
I love you too.
All
Good
right.
night.
Good night,
I'll
sweetie.
be here. Bye
All
bye,
right.
sweetheart.
Bye bye. Yeah, you know, I truly think Sherry is for Summer. I really do. I don't think that, I think she just, tries to get, she said she never gave the Wells 1 cent. She does not support them, you know. Um, I think Sherry, just likes to get as much information as she can, you know, um, and so forth and so on. I think that, it's really cost Sherry to be out here, to be honest with you. It's really costed her to be out here in many, many different ways, you know. Um, I can see more, you know, I can see more behind. She laughs, she laughs, but it's covering up. It's covering up a lot of hurt. It's covering up a lot of hurt. And it's just the way it is. That's the way it is out here on these YouTube streets. Um, it's sad. It's sad. And it does pay to be kind to those who deserve your kindness. Right, right. I think you guys know what I'm talking about. Um, all right. Second to none came a YouTube member. Hey girl. God bless. I appreciate that. Absolutely. Appreciate you supporting Summer's channel. Um, anyway, uh, you know, there's no reason to be so mean to somebody because they're just trying to, you know, Sherry ain't got no dogs in the race. She ain't got no dogs in the race. She's just trying to, you know, she's lives by herself. She's just trying to, you know, basically have somewhere that she can feel wanted. She can feel wanted and accepted and I know a lot of things. I know a lot of things. I think you guys know a lot of things too that's went on, happened over the 4 years we've been out here and I think we've all, you know, think we've all listen. PG, I'm just right now, right now, I am just, I'm really holding my patience right now. I'm super holding my patience until June 15th. I'm super holding my patience, you guys. After June 15th, I promise y'all, you're going to see some fireworks going on. Trust me, because I ain't going to be holding my patience at that point. I'm not going to be holding my patience no more. But right now I am. And, I am. I'm very much right now. You guys don't even know. You don't even know um, what a struggle it is to hold my patience. But I'm going to. I'm going to. For right now. For right now. For Summer's sake. For the sake of this case. For the sake of a whole lot of things. I'm going to hold my peace. Up to June 15th. Then I have a whole lot to say. Whole lot to say about a whole lot of haters. A whole lot of people who Just put it this way. You want to talk about expose? Well, just wait till June 15th comes. Because at that point, I'm not going, oh yeah, I'll unleash. Trust me, I'll unleash all this, everything, everything. I've been taking notes, baby. I've been taking notes. And it's going to all come out. Everything. So you guys just wait for it. You ain't going to want to miss it. You ain't going to, all those people that want, trauma and drama. Oh, let me tell you. Well, they'll be having a field day. They'll have a field day then. But, tonight I'm talking about, law enforcement. I'm talking about why. What are they doing? What are they doing? Why has not more been done upon Summer's case? What's going on here? What exactly is going on in all of this? Because clearly, law enforcement can tell, can see, law enforcement can clearly see that Summer Wells, that Don and Candace Wells were hiding. We're hiding behind religion. I mean, they use religion as a shield. We all know that. They used it as a shield. You know, um, they take the focus off themselves. They use this religion as a shield, because what religious people can do terrible things? What religious person is capable? Well, none. None. If you're truly righteous, if you're truly walking with God Almighty, you truly believe in God Almighty and His Son, Jesus Christ, and the Holy Spirit, if you really are part of the body of Christ, if you have truly, been blessed enough to be saved through Jesus Christ and your eyes open, and you know what it is to have your eyes open and you are walking the righteous path, no, you cannot do no bad. At that point, no. But do you really think that the Wells got their eyes open? Do you really believe that these people got their eyes open? Because it looked to me like they're asleep in the church house. Right? Candace looking like she on a hobo bench over there instead of a church pew. Don Wells clearly is there just to get the kids babysitted up and able to go somewhere, that he can, portray himself to be a good person when if anything bad goes down. They also like to get in places like this, because they give away a lot of free stuff. You get a lot of handouts from places like this. I mean, he was hiding. Him and Candace, wanted to get the focus off themselves, so they use, the church and God and everything to do that. They think that's a way to, to deter people from thinking bad of them. But he's holding Summer here 18 days before she goes missing. Talking about how he's crying because he knew she was going to disappear, and 18 days later she did. Right? At the swimming hole, she's right there on the milk jugs. She disappeared. But this stuff went back way farther than 18 days. Take a look at the bottom picture. because one of the boys there is dressed up like a female instead of a male. Clearly. And look at Don sitting on the edge over there. Why would they have lipstick and makeup on this young man? Why do they have this child made up like this? And look at Don. This is disgusting. This is disgusting. I mean, he's just sitting over there with the grin on his face. Like, you know, like a real weirdo, in my opinion. That's my opinion. That's my opinion. I'm going to keep it too. I'm going to keep it, you guys. Just saying. They took his beautiful child right here to that right there. This little girl's holding the top of her head, praying and wishing she had hair like all the other ones. You know, Don Wells says, well, it didn't bother her at this point. I guess it wouldn't, Don. She's gone. She's missing. I guess it wouldn't. How could it bother when, you know, she's propped up on milk jugs and, in my opinion, unalived? How could it bother her at that point? The dead knoweth nothing. The Bible says the dead knoweth nothing. So how, you know, how would it bother her? I guess it wouldn't. But it bothers the hell out of all of us. It bothers Summer's Army. It bothers us to have to look at what evilness that these people did to this child. I don't care how much Don and Candace Wells wants to talk about religion. I don't care. I see right through it. I see right through it. They are not worshiping God. They are using God. They are evil and they use God to slide their foot in and do horrible things to people. And yes, that is my opinion, and I will keep it. And I think horrible things was done to this little girl over and over and over before she ever landed on those milk jugs. My opinion, that's what landed her on those milk jugs, is all the evil that they made her endure, that she just couldn't endure no more. Here they are, out there, right? There they are out there, trying to look like the good old church people, right? And I'm going to tell you, I talked to Don Wells right after this, and he said he wasn't ever going back around there again with these church people. He said that they were making all kinds of money off of his daughter, Summer, and they wasn't going to give any of it to him and Candace. I guess they asked. I guess they asked about it. And we're told, you know, no, we're not going to, you know, give you guys everything that's coming in for, you know, for Summer's channel that we're running, her prayer channel. No, we're not going to give it to you. We hold these prayer vigils and we use the proceeds to keep running the prayer vigils and to have these functions. We buy ice cream and we buy cake and we buy cookies and we buy stuff for all these people showing up. Remember when we bought a bunch of stuff and you told your boy that he couldn't even have a balloon, that he's to leave the balloon there? Candace, well, those balloons cost money, and we hand them out to little kids that come to the prayer vigils. We let them take a balloon home. Lets them know that God loves them. They could put it in their room and feel safe because it's been prayed over. You're someone to take one home and you totally refused it, right? No, we're not going to allocate everything to you and Don. And Don's like he wasn't going back no more. That's all they were out there for. Don told me if it wasn't for the monies, him and Candace wouldn't even be out there talking at all. Period. He didn't even want to start talking. But because people started, giving money to the Cash App and all the PayPals and sending all this stuff and giving all this stuff, Candace didn't want to shut down. So Don agreed. Okay, Candace, we better not mess up. But both of them was scared. Both of them was scared. Candace scared Don's going to say something. They get him put in prison, and Don was scared that Candace going to say something to get him in prison. That's why he would leave the heel and go somewhere else to do the lies, because he was afraid that Candace, drinking the way she was going to say something that would end up getting them both put in prison. Now, if you didn't do anything, why would you be afraid? Why would you be afraid to have lives right there at your own house, no matter how your wife was acting? If you had nothing you was afraid of, right? There's some more. There you go. Candace, don't even bow her head. She don't even bow her head for her missing daughter. Look at the boys. They really bowing their heads. Even Grandis is bowing that head. But not Candace. Candace got that head straight up in the air like she don't give an F, right? Yeah. Because she don't. She doesn't care about nothing but herself. And always has, always will. You can't change humans like her. Nor can you change people like Don Wells. Right here. Take a look at this. Law enforcement knows you can see that back door from where they were sitting. They know that Grandis's ass was right there at that trailer door looking at everything, hearing everything, that she didn't miss a beat. They know they shaved that baby clean, bald-headed as they could get her. I mean, there is no reason to do this. No reason whatsoever to do this. None whatsoever. And even Dudley was like, where did they come out and take that baby to after she was dancing around that for sale barrel? Where did they take her to? Because I seen them leave with her. They took her somewhere 18 days before she came up missing. They took her somewhere. Now I'm going to tell you, in my opinion, they was using and abusing Summer. They was capitalizing off of Summer. That's my opinion. I'll keep that too. All three of these people right here, all three of them know exactly what happened to that little girl, and that's my opinion also. They know exactly what happened because they planned it the hell out. And they planned it out because something was wrong that they could go to prison for, and they felt no other way out of it except to do what they done. And that was to destroy this little girl. Hide her away and report her missing. And people supported it. People supported it. Well, I'm going to tell you something. I never gave the Wells one fucking dollar. I haven't ever given $1. I was about to furnish their whole entire house. I was about to furnish their whole house. New twin beds, new sofa sets, new everything. Dining room, even a brand new refrigerator if they needed it. I was about to furnish it up. But not once I seen how evil they were. Not once I took note that they were doing nothing to find their daughter. Not once I took note that Candace says, no, no, sissy, it's not about her. Talking about Summer. It wasn't about Summer going to the fair, handing out flyers, looking around. It wasn't about finding her daughter. It was about her wanting to go to the fair and have a damn good time while her little girl is missing. She didn't care about her little girl. And why did she not care? Because she already knew what the hell happened to Summer. They knew exactly what they did. And that's my opinion. I will keep it. This is America, baby. And the beautiful thing about America is you're allowed to voice what you think. And I think these three people right here planned what went down on June 15th, and they carried it out. And I believe that this little girl is no longer with us. I believe she is no longer alive at all. I don't believe she was alive on those milk jugs. And they can hide behind religion all they want to. But I'm going to tell you what. God's children are able to see right through it. Anyone that's really, really believes in God Almighty, anyone that truly would not ever do anything like these people would do, will be able to see how evil they are. I think we've all met people that use God to get their foot in the door and do evilness to you. They want to say, praise the Lord, hallelujah, to get their foot in the door, and you find out that they're not 2 steps short of being the devil. And you got to get that devil the hell out of your door. And I think we've all been there. Put a 1 in the chat if you've been there. Because I know I sure the hell have. Absolutely. Absolutely. I think we've all, you know, it's like that abusive man or woman that says, I promise I'm not going to ever act like this again. I love you. Let me come back. I need you, baby. We've got so much time together. Let's not waste it. And you let them back, and they do you worse than they did you before. Right? They do you worse than they done you before. Because why? Because you gave them another chance. You opened yourself up to the same thing you put out the door. You opened yourself up a second time. Some people open themselves up a third and fourth and fifth time. I don't understand it because I figure if it don't work the first time, damn it, I'm not going to go doing it twice. Right? Something don't work out the first time, there's no reason in trying again. I'm going to save myself. I don't believe in fairy tales. I don't believe in fairy tales. I don't believe in, somebody riding up on that freaking big horse and saving PG. No, I got to save my damn self. I'm smart enough to know that, people will only do to you what you allow. Well, I'm going to tell you, don't allow it. When you're a child, you put up with so much when you're a child. You put up with so much that you have no control over. You're too little. And everybody runs you over when you're a child. I mean, everybody tells you what to do, how to do it, when to do it. What I'm saying is when you're a child, you can't, stop people from spanking you. You can't stop people from using and abusing you. You can't stop people because you're too little and they have the upper hand on you. And being a child, most children, almost every child, had someone around that was abusive, verbally or physically or all the way around. But every child knows what abuse is. And they also know that they were too little to do anything really about it. But when you become an adult, you have the power to not allow people to abuse you anymore. And I would think that you would stand your ground like you wasn't able to in childhood. I think if you actually lived through childhood, you'd stand your ground and not put up with any more abuse any longer. By nobody. By nobody. Well, Summer couldn't help what people did to her. And she wasn't lucky enough. She wasn't lucky enough to become an adult. She wasn't lucky enough to get the opportunity to not ever let anyone abuse her anymore. Just the way it is. But right here, these three, as you see, it was planned out to the T. Planned out to the T, y'all. Totally planned out. And law enforcement can see that. If we can see it, they can see it. Right here. Right here. On June 15th, 2021, it started at the swimming hole and ended, if you ask me, at Allison's house when they redressed her, put makeup on her, and sent her on her way to 110 Ben Hill Road. where this second part was to be taking place. Allison had the cameras. Everybody seemed to hide the cameras. Everyone was hiding the cameras, right? No cameras. Except one. Except one on a neighbor's property down towards down towards Beach Creek on Ben Hill. One neighbor heading out onto Beach Creek had a trail cam that actually caught Chad Arnold coming in, Chad Arnold going out, and Candace following behind him after they met up at Fred's place. I think this is what you had June 15, 2021. Right there. Right there. I think that's it. Take a good picture of it. Mommy and her little boyfriend, right? Her little boyfriend. Mommy and her little boyfriend. And this baby ended up on the milk jugs. That's my opinion. I will keep it. Oh, wow. I appreciate that. Another room. I appreciate it. God bless. 50 right there. All right. Thank you for pushing for justice for Summer. I got to pull it back down here. We all love her and want her found. God bless you, PG. Hey, I appreciate that. I really do. I appreciate your support for Summer. God bless. God bless. I surely appreciate that. But yes, that's my opinion. That's my opinion of what happened here. Absolutely. Hey, Janet, I appreciate that. Thank you for supporting Summer's channel. You are appreciated. Absolutely. Absolutely. God bless. I really do appreciate that. Summer, she didn't have a choice. She didn't have a choice. She's 5 years old. Innocent little 5-year-old girl. She was overpowered. From birth. From birth, she was overpowered by evilness. She was born into it. And it overpowered her for eternity at that swimming hole. That's what I believe. That's my opinion. And after they got home, I believe right here it took place. I believe that it's done from Andy was for Chad Arnold to come in to Ben Hill Road, which he did. Now, I don't know if his friend Jimmy Long was with him or not, but he did meet up with Candace at Fred's house. Candace followed him back out. I think they followed him right over to that cemetery right there where there was an open grave getting ready to be covered up. And I think somebody dug a little deeper, in my opinion, and that's where Summer is right now. That's what I believe. I believe she's in there underneath that vault, underneath that casket, underneath all this. And I believe that's why Don Wells felt so sure and gave his shitty possum grins and boasted about how she won't ever be found. That's why he feels so safe. Right, Donald? You feel so safe? Well, you ain't going to feel too safe when law enforcement goes out there and exhumes this and finds Summer. You ain't going to feel so safe if God washes this hill off into the middle of that road and we find summer. You ain't going to feel safe, Don Wells. I bet you 10 to 1 when they find her, you won't have that smirk on your face no more. You'll have that look that you had when law enforcement pulled up and gave that last big search. That's what you're going to have. Remember, they decided to do a search without you knowing? Yeah, I remember. I remember you came outside to go to work and law enforcement everywhere, and you had a look on your face like, oh gosh. And you didn't bother to go to work. You kept that ass home because you needed to know where and what they were doing. Right, Donald? Yeah, I remember that. You was super worried. Super worried. Hey, seeking truth. I appreciate that. Super sticker. All right. I appreciate it. God bless. But yeah. Oh yeah. He did not think of Summer as no sister. Absolutely. Matter of fact, um, I got a recording where he says, F Summer. That's what he said. That's what Hunter said. He plainly stated nobody gives a crap about Summer, especially him. Yeah, yeah, yeah. He let a whole lot of his true feelings show, right? Second to none. But the Wells hide. They hide behind that religion, so people can't, won't think that they're sinister as this. I'm going to tell you, birds of a feather flock together. Just take a look at all the birds they were hanging with. None of them were any good, right? None of them was any good. They all evil. They all evil. Straight up. They all evil. Come to think about evil. Come to think about evil. Marlena's brother supposed to have been working at that tow yard, scrap yard. I don't know what kind of yard it was. The junk yard they supposed to have been living over at and working at. I heard that he no longer has a job there. Why? Well, allegedly he was stealing. Allegedly he was stealing, and they got kicked up out of there too. That's what I heard. Actually, recently. I appreciate that. She got the jack. I appreciate that. I would check. I would check. Um, but yeah, right here, busted. Mother dog, puppies, there they are sitting. You can see it all. You can see it all. There ain't no way nobody come up there and be taking nobody off of Ben Hill Road. Hell no. Hell to the no. Uh-uh. That's BS. I call BS on that one. I call total BS. But right here, before and after Summer comes up missing, this is what these people do. Look at this. Party, party, party. That's all they wanted to do. Does that look like a mother? Does that look like a mother missing her missing child? Does this look like a mother that actually is missing her missing child? Does this look like a mother who is worried about finding her child? Hell to the no. Hell to the no. Absolutely not. She ain't ever looked worried about finding her child. Not that I've seen. And honey, let me tell you something. I think I saw it all. Right? Look at this. This is the trash that went on under their roof. This is the trash that went on under their roof. Right? Who allows this kind of stuff to go on in front of their children? I don't know. But look, they just one big funsy. One big funsy, right? One big old funsy. Big funsy. Who puts a big smile on their face? Who puts a big smile on their face when they're letting balloons loose for their missing child? Look at her. Oh, show me some attention. Show me some attention. I was worried, but I'm out of the hospital and I'm feeling good now. I'm all happy for myself. Let me get some attention here so I can get some more support. And they did. And they did. And I tell you, they were supporting pure evil. And this is more evil right here, right? This is more evil right here. Right there. Look. This right here. I mean, they was evil in Utah. They went over there partying too. And a young mother and her 3 children came up missing, right? A young mother and her 3 children came up missing out of Arkansas that was staying there at the hotel. Look at this. This is Summer's haircut. This is the haircut she had before they shaved her hair completely off. And there was no reason to scrape it down to the scalp like they did. No reason. And a lot of little girls start school with their hair like this. A lot of little girls. I've seen little girls start in school with their hair cut like this. There was no reason at all to go and do what they done. What they done was just pure evil. Right here. Don says, oh, he was crying. He was crying because he knew Summer was going. I love you, Summer. I'm sorry. I love you, Summer. 18 days before she completely went missing. Here's another picture of them having a good time up in Utah. Remember they went up in Utah and went up in the mountains and put some kind of memorial up there for Summer too. I mean, these mother freakers have been memorializing Summer from day one. from day one. And if that don't tell law enforcement how fucking guilty they are, what does? And right here, they lied. Oh, she wanted her haircut like the boys. Well, they ain't one of these boys got a haircut like that. Right? They lied. They lied. And they didn't care to lie. They didn't care to lie. These dirty butt liars did not care to lie. Even though they knew we were going to get a hold of this picture and we was going to prove that they're liars, they didn't care because they're thick-faced. They're thick-faced. They think that no one's going to pay attention anyway, or they can wiggle their way out of it, and people's just going to continue to support them. Oh, yeah, Marlene is just as bad as the Wells. You got that right. Look at this. Look at Summer, because they was going to hurt her kitty. I guess Dawn done something bad, right? Supposedly throwed her cat to the dogs. Look, they were always abusing this child, mentally, physically, however they could. Look at her. That baby's got such dark circles under her eyes. These kids should not have ever been there. Look at them. It's Christmas time, and this is what they got. And remember this party? Remember this party when they laid the boys on hot pavement? They had to empty the pool out, and the boys ended up getting put on hot pavement because they just wanted to splash around water and be real kids. They just wanted to splash some water and be real kids. And if I'm going to tell you, if this right here isn't abuse, I don't know what is. I'm going to tell you that right now. Look at this little girl's head. Look at how she's all hunched over and sick. Look how bad off this child looks. This child needed a doctor, man. This kid right here needed to see a doctor and need to see one soon. But obviously, whatever she needed to see that doctor for would have put their asses in prison. And that's why she's no longer here. Trust and believe it. Because I do. Take a look at this dirty house. Look at that. Look at that place. Take a look at it. Wow. Unbelievable, right? Unbelievable. And this is what these kids lived in too. This is what these children lived in. Take a walk through that place. Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy. Look at that. Look at that. That was some severe abuse and neglect. But you know, that abuse went to a whole different level. That abuse went to a whole different level. Do you notice how Don and Candace in all of these interviews want to blame law enforcement? They want to blame CPS. They want to talk about how, law enforcement ain't cooperating and CPS took their kids. Well, I'm going to tell you something. CPS took their kids because of the abuse we just saw. The big dirty house, right? The big dirty house. The little kid constantly crying and looking sick and looking, oh my goodness. And let me tell you, there's a whole lot we're not, if we're seeing all of this, there's a whole hell of a lot we're not seeing. We got witnesses saying that they were very abusive to these children. We got witnesses saying, Don Bath was showering with Summer. Don was showering with Summer. Don was showering, sleeping with Summer. Everybody. Everybody who's around there knew that Don Wells was showering and sleeping with his daughter. And nobody said nothing. Nobody seemed to want to report that. And I'm going to tell you something. I think they all knew. I think they all knew. And let us remember that Jodie Sue said, you go and you ask him. You go ask Andy what he was given selling to those kids and what he was selling to Candace to sedate not only Summer, but other little girls over there to be touched. And other little girls over there to be touched. I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to tell you something. I think there was more people into this little girl getting touched stuff than just Don and Candace. I think there was a group of people who just didn't give a crap about their kids and were up there using their kids as well as the Wells was for their own self-gain. That's my opinion. And people say, oh, Summer wasn't sick. Her brother, is her brother trying to help up any other kid that was there? Because there was other kids there. No. He's trying to help up his sister because she was sick. She's on the ground over here. Can't even hardly get up. She's at the church. Look at her. She looks so sickly. She looks like she's barely able to, she's trying to enjoy things, but she is just weak as she can get. This child was bad off. She was going downhill quick, and Don and Candace knew it. And they knew what was wrong. They knew what was wrong. Don and Candace knows exactly what happened. They know exactly why they knew exactly why she was becoming real sick like this. And they knew exactly why they had to, in my opinion, destroy her. That's my opinion. And they got together with, this neighbor right here, Jodie Sue, who has a dog in the race. Well, it was her old man that was over there selling the stuff to sedate these little girls to the point Summer ended up like this and had to be done away with, right? It was her old man. That's what she said. That ain't what I said. That isn't my words. That is her words. She said her old man was selling stuff to sedate these little girls, and not just Summer, but other little girls to be touched. And this is the result of what happened right there. Because, see, little girls are not made to be touched. Little girls are not made to be sedated. Little girls can't handle sedation and being touched. It's too much for them. And they end up looking like that. And they have to be obviously destroyed so that the rest of them won't go to prison, right? Oh, good for you to join us tonight, Andy B, the real Andy B. Well, according to your old lady, you was selling stuff to sedate those little girls. And you know what? I believe your old lady. I believe your old lady because you know what? You just stuck a ring on another thing. She just found out. She was pissed off as hell and she wanted to tell some truth on you. She wanted to tell some truth on you. And I'm going to tell you something. There's a special place in hell for people to sell people stuff to sedate little girls so they could be touched. There's a special place in hell for people who do that. I'm sure there is. And you can run around all you want to, Mr. Andy. Run around to every chat you want to. But your old lady done gave you ass out. She done gave you ass out. Everybody already knows. Everybody already knows that that's why you was visiting up Don Wells right before he goes to prison, actually the night before, to tell him keep his effing mouth shut because they are going to try to get the truth out of him. And he needed to keep that mouth shut. And that's exactly why his commissary stayed to the full amount the whole time he was in there. Is to keep old Donnie happy so that he wouldn't run that mouth. And yes, oh, Andy was the one that said, you know, I believe she's over there in Morrison Cemetery. I'm not afraid to say it. I'm not afraid to say it. He's the one that told all about the grave. He told all about it. You could say F Don all you want to, Andy, but you were meeting up with Don Wells at the BK as well. You were meeting up with Don Wells at the BK. So, you know, it ain't F Donnie. You and Donnie and Candace and your old lady and you guys, you motherfuckers are good with each other. Out here, you're not. But inside Ben Hill Road, yes, you are. Yes, you are. You're all good. You're all good with Don Wells. Your old lady's all good with them. You're all good with them. You know, you mother freakers at the beginning try to say you didn't even know each other. You lying asses. You fucking knew each other. You guys were best as buddies. Then you wanted to play the you don't like one another game. Bullshit. Bullshit. I'm going to tell you something. You all were working together. You all was working together up there. You guys, I'll be honest with you, Andy. You want to know what it sounds like? It sounds like you guys were up there using and abusing little bitty children for your own self-gain, your own gratification and your own self-gain. That is fucking disgusting. That is disgusting, dude. You don't get no more evil than that. You don't get no more evil. I thought it was bad. I thought it was really bad to see old dudes like you trying to use up teenagers, 15, 16, 17, 18-year-old teenagers, trying to run around with teenagers and get them hooked on stuff and do disgusting things. I thought you were pretty bad for that kind of trash. But freaking little 5, 4, 5, 6, 7-year-old children, oh my God. What the hell is wrong with people? Are you kidding me? Are you straight up kidding me? Yeah, Jodie Sue said she don't even trust Andy around her own daughter. She said she wanted him to stay away from her daughter, especially after Summer went missing. She said that Andy used Summer for a piece of you know what. Yeah, that came out of Jodie Sue's mouth, not PG's. Not PG's. I'm going to tell you something. Don't go hating the messenger, baby. You better go talk to your old ex that's saying all this stuff about you. And I don't think Jodie Sue was abused at all, because an abused woman would be scared to say stuff like that. I don't care if she left him or not. She'd be afraid to say this stuff if Andy was truly abusive like she wants us all to believe. If he was really the monster she wants us to believe he was. Bullshit. I'm going to tell you right now, she ain't afraid of Andy at all. Yeah, Andy's supposed to be the last one to see Summer's online body. He was the last one to see her online body, according to Jodie Sue. Andy wasn't just selling stuff over there to Candace to sedate up Summer and other little girls to be touched, but he was over there using Summer for a piece of, you know what Jodie Sue said. I'm not going to repeat it on here, but we all know what she said. I have it on recording. I got it on recording, baby. And I'm going to tell you something, Jodie Sue. You just stop your shit, because nobody cut nothing when it came to what you said about Andy using Summer. But honey, there is no way you could fix that, because it was one sentence and you didn't take a breath saying it. It was one sentence out of your mouth and you didn't take a breath to let anyone be able to do nothing with it. So you better quit running around trying to save your backside, Jodie Sue, as you always do when you implicate Andy into all of this stuff. Then you want to try. What happens is you obviously on some good stuff. You're on some good stuff. And when you get on it, you come out here and tell a bunch of truth on your ex-old dude. And then you want to try to take it back and change it up so that law enforcement don't call your ass in and give you some lie detectors test. And I think they should. No, I don't think she wants us to dislike you, Andy. I think she dislikes you, and at certain times she really dislikes you at certain times, and she wants to tell the truth about what was going on to show you that she can, and she will, and she will. Andy don't want to help find Summer. Andy wants to lead everybody away from where he said that he ain't afraid to say Summer is. Morrison Cemetery. Him and Ryan went everywhere else, but they didn't go to Morrison Cemetery. Why don't you answer why you didn't go over to Morrison Cemetery, Andy? Why didn't you take Ryan up onto Morrison Cemetery and point right at Timothy Morrison's grave and say, this is where I believe Summer is? I'm not scared to say it. Why don't you do that? Why don't you do that? Huh? Is that a little too close to where you don't want to be? Are you afraid that somebody's going to see in your face the truth when they're video cameraing it to show it to all of us out here? Are we going to see how fucking uncomfortable you really are in the very spot that, in my opinion, you had to do with Summer being in? Wasn't it you that said it's done to Candace? Wasn't it Chad Arnold that came into Ben Hill Road at Fred's house, met up with Candace, and wasn't it her and him that went out of Ben Hill Road onto Beach Creek, probably straight over there to the big tent, the big blue freaking tent where the freshly dug grave was? Or maybe there wasn't a tent yet. Maybe they just got it dug. And there was plenty of room down in there to put Summer, right? And then she would be under a vault, and she'd be under a coffin and a bunch of dirt. Nobody would ever find her. And that's why Dawn is feeling so confident now that she ain't going to ever be found. Oh, and there is that little Hatfield and McCoy thing going on, right? What better place than to put her in Morrison Cemetery, since law enforcement and the Morrisons have a feud going on about one of their loved ones getting ran over by law enforcement on that very road, right? What better place to put somebody? Because they really ain't going to cooperate with people they don't like, which is law enforcement, to exhume that grave as well, right? You guys thought you did a solid. You thought you did a real solid right there. But from my understandings, and right now they're looking into trying to get it exhumed. They're trying to get it exhumed. They're going through the channels necessary, is what I'm hearing through the grapevine. They're going through all the channels, and they might get to pull it up and take a look-see. And I tell you what, I sure hope she's not there for your all sake. I hope she ain't. Because if she is, I got a feeling you all gonna have handcuffs put on you. You're the one that told about it, Andy. You're the one that wrote "It's done." It was your buddy Chad Arnold up there, right? Up there stalking people for 15 to 20 minutes. Somebody tried to completely hide that grave so that it couldn't be found. It's a miracle it was, right? It had flowers on it. Ain't that funny? It had flowers on it. At the same time, Don and Candace Wells went to the swimming hole and left flowers. They went to the grave site and left flowers, obviously. And oh my goodness, and over on Ben Hill Road, they was putting out lights all around the swing, memorializing Summer, the place she passed away, the place where she's buried, and then the place, her favorite place, the only place she really had, right? The only thing she owned was a swing anyhow. It had to be her favorite. Oh yeah, they put lights around that too, to memorialize her. Well, boy, was that stupid. Didn't plan on nobody checking. You didn't plan on Don B checking the swimming hole over there, did you? Didn't plan on somebody else going up and checking on that Timothy Morrison's grave. That came out of the blue, didn't it? And you sure didn't. So obviously, you're not too good at keeping up with Don Wells, Andy, because you sure didn't see Don Wells mother freaking putting up those lights, doing a video, letting everybody know that they're memorializing Summer way before her missing date. They're actually doing it about the time they scraped her head bald. Right? They actually memorialized her around the time they started to plot and plan and ploy against her. I guess they felt that she was as good as gone then. So why not memorialize her at that time? Instead of June the 15th, 2021, when everything actually got put into action and carried out. Right? Well, you should keep up with him because he does ignorant things, but you should keep up with yourself too. You should keep up with yourself too. I mean, Jodie Sue tried to lie about that cemetery over there, when indeed she mentioned it. She mentioned it in a Discord back in 2021. Back in 2021, she mentioned it. Right? Nobody, well, Discords are private anyway. They're private anyway, so I guess she felt that they wasn't going to, really that wasn't going to go anywhere anyway because it was inside of a Discord. But it got put out here, right? Right beside yours, which, double solidifies that Summer's probably in that grave. All right. Right, Andy? If it's one person says it, well, it could be true. But when two people say it, you better start listening. Right? You better start listening. And it's funny that Chad Arnold's down at Fred's house meeting up with Candace after you say it's done. Chad Arnold's up there at Morrison Cemetery stalking the shit out of me and my friend for 15 to 20 minutes. And in my opinion, yes, it was Chad Arnold. Everybody said it was. It definitely was, the same kind of truck he had up there doing it. You could say it was you all day long, but it was not your ass. That was not you. And Chad Arnold, first thing he did was report to you. He reported to you. Right? And I'm going to tell you, Andy, I don't think Popo hasn't come to you. Trust me, Popo knows exactly where you are. They don't have to come to you because they know exactly where you are. Right now, you're grounded. You're grounded. You're grounded to Becca. You're grounded in a place where they know exactly where to find you. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. But believe me, whether you like it or not, in my opinion, you're on the top of their list, along with a few others, like Don, Candace, and Grandis, your old lady who lied about the scream, and a few other ones. Chad Arnold, right? Jimmy Long, Marlena Crawford, Hunter, his mother Allison until she wasn't here no more. Don't kid yourself. Don't kid yourself. I'm going to tell you what, Andy. I think they got quite a bit because they did try to prosecute it and found out that they couldn't because Tennessee don't like to do it without the victim. But now that they got a good idea where the victim is, and if she is there, you're probably going to get prosecuted. Right? That's what I'm thinking. I think I'm thinking right. There you go. That's what I'm a thinking. I'm going to tell you, Becca can't say anything. His old lady Becca can't say anything to PG at all. Look what she's married to. Right? Look what she's married to. Are you kidding me? She goes and marries up a number one suspect. And I'm going to tell you what. My backside, my sweet, juicy backside would make Becca a sunny face. Right? It'll make her a sunny face. There you go. I'm going to tell you, I have no respect. I have no respect for women who sneak around, crawl around with some guy that she knows has an old lady, 2 kids. This woman's been with this man for damn near 30 years. And here she comes along. Here she comes along. Trying to take him away. I mean, his old lady's hard up. She's hard up. I had no damn respect for that. None whatsoever. And even more so, she got what she deserved. She got Andy. Oh, Andy, she snuck around. She snuck around and so did you. Come on. You weren't faithful at all. You weren't faithful to your old lady. I mean, you used Jodie Sue up. You used this woman's all of her youth up. You used it all up. And then you left. You thought it was funny. You thought it was funny to use her up like that. And then threaten her up. According to Don Wells. That ain't my words. That's Don Wells' words. He said he was over there talking to you, and you and him was laughing about how you were getting ready to leave your old lady, and you told her, that you would do all kinds of evil shit if she didn't just let you go. And Don Wells actually admired you for it until I told him I didn't think that shit was funny. Why is he laughing? Well, actually, it's not funny. Well, you was just laughing about it, Donald. I don't think that shit was funny. Yeah, he said he was over there talking to you because he felt that you had something to do with his daughter's disappearance, Andy. Right? That's what he said. That's what he told PG. Hey, I'm bringing you up. What's up, girlfriend?
Hi, Mama.
How you doing?
Good. Tired, but good. So,
You
Andy
did
B,
cheat
what
on
else
her.
is in the text or whatever he's talking about?
You did cheat on. I didn't cheat on her. Yes, you did. Yes, you did, Andy. When you got with Jodie Sue, you were and had kids by her. You was leading her to believe you were going to be with her forever. You leaded her to believe that you're going to be with her forever, and your ass wasn't. And you
Yes,
wasn't.
did.
What do you call that? That's cheating. When you lead a woman to believe that you love
Cheating.
her, you care about her, you want her, and you suck the freaking life up out of her, all of her youth, and at the time she needed you most, you haul that ass. What do you call it? What do you call it? I call it messed up, if you ask me.
Messed up
I call
cheating.
it being a low life piece of crap. If it would have been, if the
Come on,
table
Andy.
been
Come up here and
turned,
tell us.
and it would have been you, it would have been you sick and you in her situation, she would have been right there for your ass. You did her wrong. You did her wrong, and you know you did her wrong, and you don't care to do people wrong. You don't care to do people wrong because you don't give a fuck about nobody but your damn self. And
Woo.
that's exactly why that little girl across the road got no help whatsoever, because all of you people were the same. All cared about your own self, self-centered asses. That's what the
Yep.
hell you was.
So who's bothering you now, Mama PG? I missed half.
What?
I was reading in the chat something about Becky or Bex or something.
Somebody
I
named
read your
Becca's
chat.
Eyes. I'm going to tell you something. There's this chick out here named Becca's Eyes, and I'm just going to put this out here right now. You know, like I said, I've been trying to hold my peace, and I will for the most part. But this Becca's Eyes, you need to, you need to pucker up and kiss the backside of my ASS.
Woohoo!
That's
There
what you
you
need to
go,
do.
Becca.
That's what you need to do. And I'm going to tell you, I don't, I don't know your mother, and I don't know, anything about Ziggy taking your mama to the cleaners. I know nothing about your mama not being here any longer. I had nothing to do with that. You know what? My name is PG. This is Prayer Garden of America. This is not Ziggy. Okay? I am not Ziggy. And I did not do a damn thing to your damn mama. I don't even know your mama. There you go.
We'll,
And I'm
we'll
going to
have
tell
to
you
practice
something, old
this.
Becca's Eyes. I think you got your ass out here hoping to take somebody's mama to the cleaners, just like you think Ziggy took yours. I think you're out
Amen.
here trying to build a channel off the back of innocent people that had nothing to do with anything that you're talking about. You want some attention, mother freaker? You come to the wrong place, because I will give you some attention. You can trust and believe PG will give you some attention. If that's
And
what
she'll
you're
wash your
seeking,
ass up with
I will
that.
give it to you. I will give it to you. And I'm going to tell you something. I don't know nothing about your mama, and I don't care about your mama, okay? I don't care about your mama. That's your mama. I don't care. That's what I'm going to tell you. I care about a 5-year-old missing little girl, innocent child that had no choice of what was happening to her. Your mama did. Maybe your mama rather give her money to Ziggy than your fucking ass, okay?
Amen, Mama PG. Tell
When
him.
your mama's handing her money off to other people instead of you, that tells me that your mama obviously didn't like you. It tells me mama probably didn't want nothing to do with you. And where the hell was you when mama was doing all of this? Because if you was a good daughter, you would have been right there spending time with your mama. You'd have been busy taking your mama out to lunch. You would have been busy taking your mama to get her nails done and her hair done. You would have been busy spending time with your mama, loving your mama, caring about your mama. And your mama wouldn't have had time to be out here getting took to the cleaners by Ziggy. Okay? My mama had no damn time to be out here getting took by nobody. Because you know what? My ass was taking care of my mama. I was right there
Amen.
for my mama. My mama was busy loving me, and I was busy loving my mama. She didn't need to go look for other people to talk to, because she had someone to talk to all the time. So don't come out here crying anybody a sad fucking song, because we don't want to hear it. Okay, Becca? You take your eyeballs and go some fucking where else, because you just messed up and came to the wrong place.
Mama
We don't
got
put
her.
up with shit like
Bam,
that here.
bam, and thank you, ma'am.
That's right. And my mods, they'll give you a steel toe boot in the ass, right into PG hell, and that's where you can stay, Miss Becca Eyeballs.
I'll have to look her up and see who she is and where she's from. Leave my mama PG alone. She's here for Summer Moon, Utah Wells.
I'm going to tell you something. Oh, I'm going to tell them. I'm going to tell them. They can mother freaking beat back that ass up. Because
Amen.
I don't be playing this shit.
I don't be playing it. Don't come at me sideways when I ain't done nothing to nobody. Everybody in this chat right here, baby, we all care about one thing, and that's 5-year-old Summer Moon Utah Wells. We all care about one thing, that this little girl was an innocent victim to some evil people, and we are out to set out to find her, bring her home, and get justice for her. And we don't put up with no crap. We ain't putting up with nobody's shit while we're doing it. Ain't happening.
Nope. Look at all the nasty suspects up on that pictures. Dear Lord. Gotta get Andy B put up there. Need Chad Arnold up there. Marlena up there.
I'm going to tell you something. These people were evil. They were evil. And I'm going to tell you something. This Becca lady, she ain't out here for these missing kids. She ain't out here because she cares about Summer Moon Utah Wells. She's out here because she's got a vendetta against Ziggy.
Yep.
That has something to do with her mama. Now, I'm going to tell you something, Becca's eyes. I'm going to tell you right now, I don't think it'll take much for me to find out who you are, who your mama is. And I'll tell you what, I'll bring it all to the table. I'll bring it all to the table. I'll let you know right now, because I will be checking into everything. You do not want to play with the people over here on Summer Moon Utah Wells channel. This is Summer's channel. Don't mess with us. Don't mess with us,
Nope.
because we will know everything. We'll know why your mama was giving Ziggy that money instead of you. Trust and believe. We are not where you want to go. You better turn that ass around. You better go pick on someone else, because this is the wrong place to be picking. She better go pick her nose. That's what she better do.
Love it. I love it. You know, when people mess with Mama PG and start on her, watch out. Mama PG's go wham bam, thank you, ma'am.
I'm going to tell you something. I don't like it when people come at this channel sideways. I do not like it.
I don't
Because
either.
this channel is innocent. I'm going to tell you, we have not ever went at anyone sideways here. We have not ever went at no one sideways. We have stood our ground, but they have always came at us. We have always had to stand our ground. And you know something, that should not be out here. People should not come
Nope,
at
if
a
you got a
channel
problem with somebody, take it beside
that is doing nothing but pure righteousness for a 5-year-old missing child.
That's right. I like popping my face and it gets everywhere. I love it. You know my apparently my new husband's Danny. I didn't know if I told you. And we owe a towing company. I'm like, OMG.
Yeah, I think you did. I think you told me that you learned a whole lot about yourself you didn't know. Right?
I know.
I'm gonna tell you,
Right?
girl.
I'm gonna have to go find her.
I'm always learning. I'm always learning. Yeah, you got another old man out there. You got to find him.
Yes. Wonder if he'll give me some
Right?
money and alimony.
Exactly. We need to take you shopping, girl.
Yep.
I'm gonna tell you, the Wells right here, just another, memorializing Summer, right? They have memorialized her so many times. It's pathetic. I mean, that's all they've done since she disappeared is memorialize her.
And keep
Unbelievable.
putting a bench here, flowers here,
Right.
solar lights here.
Right.
And it's like, what they do, move her from place to place. Here, we got to put a memorial here. Oh, nope, that's not good enough. Let's go put one up here at the
Exactly.
grave. Nope, that ain't good
Exactly.
enough.
Morrison Cemetery Road, right there. Why isn't Andy
where she's
taking
at.
people there? I mean, this is the place he says that, he's not afraid to say it. She's up here in
Right.
Morrison Cemetery. He's not afraid to say it. Well, why be afraid to take people there to look for? Right there.
Right.
Right there. Flowers. flowers at the horse pond, flowers on Timothy Morrison's grave, lights
Same
all around
ones.
Summer Swing. And look, when she disappeared, look at the shape she was in. Look how sick she was. I mean,
Very.
that tells us I mean, just looking at her tells you that they had to get rid of her. Just
Yeah,
looking at her.
dispose of her.
I mean, she's sick. She's sick. I mean, a blind man could see that this child is really bad off.
Yes.
A blind man could see it. They don't want to go to prison. They don't want to go to prison. Look at her. Look at her. She couldn't swing on that swing. Look how ill she looks.
Been
She's,
over. It's
this
sad.
baby was very, very weak, very bad off, and they had to do something, and very quickly. They knew
Yes.
that they had to do something very quickly. No one
Right.
listened. What are we not listening to, Andy B? I don't hear you. I listen. I am listening. What do you want me to listen to? Tell me something I don't know. Tell me.
Please tell us.
Even you said, Andy B, that you feel that Don and Candace did something to their own child. Even you said it. You said that you believe that they done something to this little girl so that they wouldn't get in trouble. You said that. Do you want to deny it now?
It's
You want
hard
to
to tell
deny
you,
it
Andy
now?
B,
Oh,
when
I
the
have
doctors
no
will give you
answer
it.
to this. I have no answer. You don't have no answer now. Yes, I did. Yeah, you said it. You did say it. Yes, you did. Right there. Yes, you did. You said it. And you know what? I agree with you. I agree with you. Right there. I think she's in Morrison Cemetery. I'm not afraid to say it. I'm not afraid to say it.
Right.
And he said Don and Candace Wells, he believes they had all to do with what happened. And I'm going to tell you something right here. Ain't it funny that Candace is calling Marlena on June
Very.
15th, 2021, around 4:47, she said? Ain't it funny that her and her boyfriend was hanging up there all the time at Candace and Don's house, along with some other people, and their
Cleaning the
little girl,
house.
and their little girl. Ain't it funny that this guy right here just said a bunch of stuff sideways about Summer that's got law enforcement looking into him and Chad Arnold? Ain't
Yep.
that kind of strange? I bet it's all about the cemetery.
God, he's
I mean,
creepy.
Marlena didn't even come out. Oh, there's good old chatty boy. There's good old chatty boy right there, right? That's him, ain't it, Andy? You know him anywhere if you've seen him. Right there he is. He's your bestest friend calling you up on the phone. Hey, we got some people over here in the cemetery, man. I just want to let you know. I'm right here. I'm checking them out. I'm not sure, man. Well, it could be law enforcement. It could be a detective. I don't know. Right?
Andy's
Let me
best friend standing
let me
there.
snap some pictures. Let me snap those pictures. Oh, it's not my friend. Oh, it's not my friend. I guess he'd be glad to see that tonight because I know they'd be watching.
Yeah,
He's
you know Marlena's
Marlena's
letting him
family.
watch.
Oh, you got that right. He is Marlena's family. That's right. He is. He's Marlena's family, all right. It's funny that he's down at Fred's house meeting up with Candace, and Marlena's on the phone with Candace, and Candace is following him out of Ben Hill Road onto Beach Creek, right towards Morrison Cemetery on June 15th, 2021, where there's an open grave that's going to have a funeral just in a couple of days, right? Oh, and
Right.
here's another one. Mr. Morlock, whose family also digs graves over there, who is also related to Chad Arnold through marriage of Marlena's sister, right? Half sister.
Ooh,
Half sister. Yeah. I mean, it's all tying in together, right?
it is.
Well, looky here. The only ones living here in this whole picture is Oh, looky there, Hunter and his girlfriend Candace, right? And two
Yep.
little lovebirds, according to Jose, which is no longer with us, but according to Jose, Candace told him a little secret about how she was Hunter's first, and he won't ever forget his first. I guess he won't. He went all the way
Right.
off the swimming hole, in my opinion, to do a really dirty, sinister deed for the one that his first there, right? After she fed him twisted teas and God knows what else to get him to do what he done. And I believe he did do it. That's my opinion. I'll keep it. Right? I'll keep it. And
That's right.
but right here, every one of these people have passed away. Allison, Leslie, Jose, uh, even the Crawford man, right?
Right.
All of them's passed away. Cotton Simpson, all of them right there. All of them surrounded Summer's case, and all of them's gone, right? Including
Right.
Summer. Ain't it funny? Ain't it funny how there's four people, and looky there, six of them passed away. Six of them, including Summer, passed away, and only four: Donald, Candace, Grandis, and Hunter. Those are the only four still breathing. Hmm.
Weird.
And and it seems like the four breathing are the ones that carried it all out in the morning of June 15th, 2021, right?
Right.
Tom Wells driving the Subaru, fired his coworker to blame it on. He's hiding at work, calling on the phone, seeing how everything's going, if it's going the way it's supposed to go. And you got Candace and Grandis right there, uh, making up excuse to be in Kingsport to pick this boy up to go do the dirty deed. I mean, the ones working to get this done, they're the only ones still living, right?
Right.
Wow, ain't
Right.
that fun? Ain't that funny,
Very weird.
right?
And it's weird because they all connect the dots. Dot, 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 dot.
Take a look at that. Take a look at this criminal. Take a look at this criminal right here. Really, you're going to trust him? I don't care how much
No.
this guy talks about the Lord. I don't trust him. Put a one in the
No.
chat if you
He's
don't
hiding.
trust him. Put a one in that chat if you
One for
don't
me,
trust him, because I
somebody.
don't trust him. I don't trust him at
Mm-mm.
all.
He's a snake in the grass.
Absolutely.
Nasty, nasty. I was hiding in the bushes the other day when Candace was live, and she didn't even know I was in there. And Dom was like, it was getting ready to storm real bad, and Dom was over on the side. I couldn't tell who he was on the phone with. I think it might have been his lover, white boy, white rabbit ears.
Oh, really? Oh, really?
Yeah, I was hiding.
Wow.
And then I got busted. I'm like, shit. She booted me out. I'm like, damn it. I was having fun.
Right? I'm going to tell you.
I said, put that skank on the phone. Put that skank up there on that live so I could see him. She wouldn't do it.
Oh, looky there. Looky there. Another mug shot. Another mug shots. Look at that. Another criminal. Another criminal. I don't trust
Don't
that when
forget his son.
I don't trust
Right?
that either. I'm going to tell you the one thing I can tell you about looking at her is she was lazy as hell. Look how damn
Yes.
you look at a person and tell how fucking lazy they are. And I'm going to tell you now, she looked like a sloth. She looks like a sloth. I don't have to look no further to tell you how freaking lazy this one was. You could just look at her and I mean, she's so lazy. Look at her face, like, duh. She can't
Like,
even.
hello.
She can't even mother freaking work the muscles in her damn face to keep from looking stupid, right?
Nope. That's
How
right.
lazy she is. I mean, she's just lazy. A do nothing criminal,
It's like, hello. I will follow everything you tell me, Donny boy.
right? right? And that's another. Don't care about nobody but their self. That's it.
Yep.
That's it. You know, and you have law enforcement. You got law enforcement. Now, I tell you what, the one thing I like about Ronnie Lawson is he did tell the truth. He said they are not cooperating. They lawyered up. He brought it out, man. He said, abduction, no signs of
Nope.
no abduction up here. No. And then Pruitt came out and said, she'd have wandered off, we'd have found her. They'd have been buzzards. They'd have been buzzards flying around overhead if she would have not. If she'd have been out there anywhere in that wooded area, you would have seen buzzards flying around. That's,
Yep.
they knew that she was, they waited till all the foliage went down and went back out there. Like he said, if she was out there, we would have found her. They knew. And you know what he said? I know everybody wants to, hope for the best that she's still alive. But he said, you know what? We think she's in the area, but people need to, people really need to prepare for the worst.
Right.
That came out of his mouth. You know what that told me?
Yes, it did.
Oh, they believe
That she's
she's in
gone.
the area, but she's not living.
Right.
And, even Ronnie Lawson said, you ask Don and Candace, you tell those YouTubers, ask Don and Candace why they waited 4 hours to call law enforcement. Ask them why they waited 4 hours. That pushed Summer back on the milk jugs.
Right. With the
I mean,
lipstick.
basically, law enforcement is saying, we can't prove that she wasn't alive, but we don't think she was. It looks
Right.
staged. We think she staged on those milk jugs. We think that she isn't alive. We think she, that something happened at the swimming hole, and this child was not alive on the milk jugs. We know that she brought this child back in to Ben Hill area, and that's where they think that, Summer still is somewhere. And she probably is right over there in that grave at Morrison Cemetery.
Right.
I
And
don't
did you
think
notice when Candace makes lives, it's always pointing over towards that cemetery? Any lives that she
exactly.
does.
Yeah. I did take note of that. I did take note of that, girl. Right here. Right here's your 3 coppers. Right there. I'm going to tell you, I'm not 100% sure of what really happened to Summer to make them have to unlive her so they wouldn't go to prison. I'm not sure exactly what happened. I got a pretty good idea of what
Right.
probably happened because of the way Summer was having all the problems with the lower part of her body. I got a
Right.
pretty good idea of what happened, and they couldn't take her to the hospital and get it fixed without going to prison. I got a pretty good idea that's probably what it really was. And they were, man, if that's the case, could you imagine? Can you imagine what that little girl was going through? Can you imagine the pain and the suffering? Can you imagine the crying and the hurt and the misery that this little girl was going through? Can
She
you
endured
imagine?
so much.
I mean, I bet you 10 to 1 that they was, feeding her up on as much pain medication as they could to try to
Yep.
keep her out of pain until they
And it
did
wasn't a
what they
peppermint.
done.
Right.
It
And
was
Grandis, it
trying,
wasn't a peppermint candy.
right. It wasn't no peppermint candy. It wasn't no peppermint candy. I'm going to tell you, there wasn't no planting no flowers. There wasn't no washing no hands. There wasn't no getting no damn candy. Let me
It
tell
was
you
weird.
that
Jodie
right.
Sue was planting flowers or tending
And
to them, Candace and
that
them.
baby didn't ever go back into that house. That baby didn't
No, she
ever
never
go
even got
back
out.
into that house. Her brothers plainly told Jodie Sue, I thought she was out on the swing, and they thought she was out on the swing because they didn't ever see her come in. They
Right.
came out to the vehicle. They got all the stuff to carry in the house. They saw their sister in there. They just assumed she did get out, like always, and that she was somewhere around there, but they didn't really ever see her. They didn't ever really
Right.
see her.
Candace wanted everybody to believe it and try to make him poor boys believe it.
Right.
And it's sad and disgusting.
I'm going to tell you, they did no searching, and let humans understand they did not want anyone else searching, including law enforcement. They didn't even
Right.
want
Look
law
how they did the
enforcement up
searchers.
there. That's why they made up abduction, because they didn't want law enforcement. They wanted law enforcement to go look somewhere else, not on that
Yep.
property. That's why they kept saying, I can tell you she's not here. I can tell you she's not here. Of course you can, because you made all of this shit up. You know exactly what happened to her. You made all of this shit up. And of course you know she's not anywhere out here. You want them to believe abduction because you need them to be looking as far away from there as you could, because that's where you brought her back to, and that's where you got her put somewhere. And Morrison
Yep.
Cemetery is probably it. That open grave is probably where she's put, and that's why they felt so protected until Andy opened
And
his
Andy
mouth.
B said it himself.
Until
He
Andy
says
opened,
she's there.
now it's all bad. But like I said, folks, this is the first part of it. They shaved her head. They had her dancing around that for sale barrel. They, Don Wells said that he was crying. I'm sorry, Summer. I love you, Summer, because he knew she's going to be missing, because he knew something was bad wrong, and they would go
Right.
to prison if they try to get help, and they couldn't do that, so they had to do what they did. He went driving that car. He fired his coworker to blame it on. They went to that swimming hole, and she got dressed at Allison's house. She was wet in that car until they staged her up after dressing her and doing whatever in Allison's house. And Hunter, Allison, and Candace, they was having it out. They were having it out because Allison had to protect her boy. Candace wanted the stuff she left at Allison's house back after Allison washed it. And that's
Right.
why they was making more trips there after Summer went missing, was to collect that stuff.
Yes.
Just saying.
And
Just saying. Nobody
passed
abducted
it on to
nobody,
that
and
captain
nobody wandered
friend.
off up here. And we pretty much know that out of law enforcement's mouth. Between Ronnie Lawson and between Pruitt, we know no abduction, no wandering off. I mean, they pretty much told us.
Yes. And not only that, Don always mentioned dungeons. I think Don just kept moving her after law enforcement done searched that house a couple of times. No,
Well,
we got to get these other clues.
he kept saying basement, basement. She's in a dark I'm going to tell you, wouldn't that grave right there be like a dark basement? Wouldn't
Yes,
that
it
grave
would.
be a place where she can't go out and play? Wouldn't that be
Yep.
and Morrison Cemetery is beautiful. He said she's in a beautiful place, just down the road, in a beautiful place. Well, just down the road is this grave, and a beautiful
That's right.
place is that cemetery. So the way they've been talking, everything points right here. And if law enforcement don't look into it, then I'm going to have to wonder what's going on. What's going on here? Because
Or they're covering it.
this really needs to be looked into. And this baby was very sick. And I'm going to tell you, these people right here, these are all the ones that on June the 15th that was surrounding Summer's case. Andy and his family, Marlena, this Chad Arnold, and Jimmy Long. Like he had something to do with it all, because he's the one that's been talking lately.
Right.
So you have Candace, Grandis, and Hunter in the morning, and you have all of these people in after they got back into Ben Hill, and
Right.
most of these people down here at the bottom, they're very affiliated with that cemetery over there and digging the graves. So perfect place, you guys.
Right. Andy B, answer question, please. Why did your son just all of a sudden go to the army? I would really like to know that. And the truth. Day after summer comes up missing, wasn't very long he left.
Oh, why don't he answer why he came flying off the hill and left? Why doesn't he answer why Grandis came flying off the hill and left? Why don't he answer why his old lady lied to everybody, put a fake ass restraining order against him, and to get everybody to sponsor her to get her the hell out of there too, because she was so scared. Why doesn't he answer why all of them were so scared? Why does Jodie Sue say, "Oh, well, the reason we put our son in the army was to protect him from all of this, from this case"? Why would you, if you're innocent, why would you have to go to army to be protected from this case?
Right.
That's just creepy freaking weird, right? That's just weird. But I'm going to tell you
Yep.
something else that's weird. Something else is weird is Don Wells talking about, you know, law enforcement took this camera, trying to say law enforcement took this Canon camera from their home. They had a bunch of pictures and stuff on it. Now, why would law enforcement want your damn camera? That's weird, and not write it down, not let you know they got it. That I ain't anything law enforcement takes, they got a receipt on it.
That's
But Don
right.
says they stole his camera and didn't take a receipt to it. That if this is true, there's something fishy about this. And it's already fishy and weird that nobody's cameras, Allison's cameras, weren't nowhere to be found that day. Jodie Sue's cameras weren't nowhere to be found that day. Everybody's cameras were all missing that day, right? Cell phones were getting
Right.
trashed, and even Andy B. Even Andy, where did your cell phone go? Because we heard your cell phone got gone too right after Summer went missing. I know the Wells, scrapped their phones as well that they had that law enforcement took. A lot of phones were getting taken and strapped.
Destroyed. Yep.
Everybody's getting new phones. I mean, why? If you had nothing to do with it, why are you following the same damn pattern as the Wells were following? And why was the Wells following that pattern if they had nothing to hide? I mean, what I'm saying is, if a kid came up missing around me and law enforcement took my phone, and then I don't care what the hell they do with it. I don't care what they do with my phone.
Right.
If they give it back to me, I'm not getting a new phone. I got a really nice phone. I'm keeping my
Hell
damn,
no.
I'm not even changing the number on my phone. Because you know what? I'm innocent and I don't give a damn what law enforcement hears me say. I don't know care if they tapped it. I don't care if they didn't tap it. I don't give a shit. I hope they
Right.
do hear me, because you know what? They're not going to hear nothing except the truth, and that truth is I'm innocent. Now, if I go throw this phone away, then more than likely I'm not innocent, because that's the only way I would trash it. I would only
Yep.
trash
Too much
it if
evidence.
I had a dog in a race or knew someone that did, or knew someone that did. That's the only reason you're going to get rid of it. Is if you're really close to the person that did and they're calling you, or you had something to do with it and you ain't wanting to, and you ain't wanting to get caught up in this shit. So, but other than that, if you're totally innocent, you're not getting a new phone, you're not getting a new number, you ain't getting a new nothing. You hope law enforcement is, doing all the good things because you want justice served. You want
Right.
evil
And why
people
did
put
they
in
take the one
prison,
TV?
right? And that's another thing. There's a TV hiding over at Andy's house. And did you hear
Yep.
Hunter say that Grandis had TVs in the back of her vehicle and shit? Almost, almost like, um, it sounded almost like well, they did pack some kind of backpack. And I've been thinking about, that suitcase being packed or backpack or whatever it was being packed. That could have been a bunch of stuff. They just told that little girl that they was going somewhere because she took note that they're putting all this stuff in that backpack, and they might have just told her that you know, to get her, to deter from, the truth. But they
Right.
may have been putting all kinds of stuff in that backpack to go in garbage, to go in trash, because they could have felt that it had DNA on it or had stuff on it or whatever that law enforcement may be able to incriminate them with. And that's the stuff they may have been putting in there. They may have been putting stuff in there that they thought might have had some, some bad, some very sick stuff on it that could, they could put them in prison. So they
Right.
took it, and trashed it. It's very possible that it was it could have been bed sheets. It could have been bed sheets. It could have been, it could have been, who knows what. Could have been stuffed animals that Summer had in the bed with them. I don't know. I don't know. But it sounds to me like they were packing. They wasn't packing for Summer to go somewhere. They was packing shit up that they needed to dispose of for some reason.
Right.
That's what it sounds like.
Yes. Boy, he never did answer my question. Darn it.
Um, oh man, I lost her. Um, Somebody said PG, read the chat. I'm reading it. Somebody blocked somebody. Hey, girl.
Okay. Sorry about that. My phone about died and I had to grab the charger. I don't have no sound. Very weird. Now I can hear you.
He says he don't remember sending the text. Yes, you do. Actually, Jody Sue confirmed that you sent it, and you said you sent it at one point. You
Yep.
both did. Matter of fact, I got Jody Sue
And who
admitting
has the
you
phone?
sent it.
Where'd that go? I'm
All
jumping down in chat, Mama. I'm jumping down in chat, Mama PG. I keep losing sound.
All right, sweetie. I
Prayers.
appreciate you coming up and hanging out with me.
I love you, Mama. Prayers to
Hey,
you and your
I
family.
love you
Prayers
too.
to
You
Miss
know it.
Christina. I love you,
You
Mom.
know
I'll be
it.
back in chat.
Tell that
You
husband of
need me?
yours. Tell that husband of
Go
yours
ahead.
that I said hello. Yeah, she should have. That's true, Sharon. She has the phone. She has the phone. I know. It was Andy. It was this Andy that sent it. This Andy sent it. Oh my goodness. None of us at 125 did shit. Why play with this trash for cash, Andy? Andy ain't getting no cash for one, Jody Sue. There ain't nobody giving Andy no cash. Why do you always act like he's out here because he's getting, some support or whatever? No, he's not. But I'm going to tell you what, I'll put his Cash App up if you want me to there, Jody Sue. And everybody's supposed to be trying to use Summer for the dollar. No, the only one doing that is you. It's just you, right? Andy came off that damn hill on his own dime, on his own pocket. You didn't. You was the one used Summer to get. Actually, Summer owns your trailer, right? She owns your trailer because you used her to get it. You've been out here using these people to get everything, not Andy. I haven't known of Andy really getting shit out here, except a lot of shit because of your mouth. That's what it is, Jody Sue. He's getting a lot of shit because of your mouth. You're saying all this stuff and then trying to retract it. Oh, he's the last one to see Summer's online body. And then you brought your daughter out to say, yeah, he said that stuff to me and my brother. And then you said, go ask him. Go ask him what he was given to Candace. What was he over there giving to them children, and what was he giving to Candace to sedate them little girls? Not just Summer, but the other little girls to be touched. And you asked him what it was other than weed. Other than weed, Jody Sue. That's what you said. So it ain't the goody good shit that you were referring to. And then you want to try to renege that too, didn't you? Especially when law enforcement came knocking at your door. Why do you put all of this shit on Andy and then come out here and chase him around and freaking tell him, oh, why are you doing this? Why are you playing this for the cash? The only one playing for cash is you. And you tell him he's pathic and he's even more of a monster than before. It sounds like you're pretty much of a monster too, Jody Sue, because you're the one that said you wasn't going to stand in front of him no more. You're a monster as well. Because you knew Don Wells was over there showering with this baby and you didn't get her no help. You knew that these children over there were being severely abused. You knew they were hungry. You said the boys were stealing stuff out of your house so they could eat. And you didn't report it. You done nothing. You're no better than Andy. You're no better than him. You said that you wasn't going to stand in front of him no more, that you was telling on him. You go ask him what he was doing. You said it was Candace and his fault that this happened to Summer. That's out of your own mouth, Jody Sue. Your own mouth. So what the fuck are you talking about? What are you talking about? He's a monster. If he's a monster, then you're a monster too. You both monsters. That's my opinion. I'll keep it. And you just go following him around. You say all this shit about him. And he's out here running from chat to chat saying, oh, she's just mad. She's just jealous. She just hates me. She wants you to hate me. And You know, I think that's bullshit. I think it's bullshit, Jodie Sue. I think you came out and I think you told some truth. I think you told some truth about what was going on over there at 110 Ben Hill Road. I think you were hurt. I think you were all angry and upset that you got used and abused for years. And he went flying off that hill, married up another thing, put a ring on another thing. Man, he's banging that now. He's banging it. And you can't stand it. You can't stand thinking about him banging something else. And especially marrying it up. So you came out here and you told the truth on him. You thought that was going to get his attention, maybe even get him to run back to you. Oh shit, what are you doing, bitch? You're going to get us put in prison. But it didn't work. He said, I don't care. Say whatever you want. Right? Say whatever you want. Because all I care about is getting hot and heavy under the covers with my new lady. Well, his new lady must know how to do something you didn't, Jodie Sue, because he's all heated up for it. Right? He said your ass was good, but baby, it wasn't that good. He found something better. Just saying. Just saying, Jodie Sue. And then you want to run over here. You want to run over here. And jump on him some more in our chat. Just saying. Yeah, why did she hate that little girl? Why did she? Why did she dislike this baby? I like to know that too. Why did she dislike Summer? Why did I'm going to tell you something. Jodie Sue was not out here for Summer. She was out here to protect her own ass and Andy's ass. She was out here to listen and hear everything so she could have time to do what she's doing. Warn Andy what's being said. This out here is her connection to him, acting like she's, keeping him, protecting him, keeping him safe by knowing and hearing and listening to everything. She's out here for selfish, self-seeking reasons. And I knew that from day one. She didn't care about Summer. She was out to prosper off of Summer. And more so, stay in it to learn and know everything. So she could, head people off, head them off. Hey, they're saying this, they're saying that. She wanted to come out here and make a ball of confusion out of Summer's case. So it couldn't be solved. She don't want Summer's case solved. If Summer's case was solved, she'd probably be in prison with the Wells. She lied about that scream. She was over there she was on a mother freaking call with Candace, talking about where her money's at. Where's her share of the money coming into Candace? Now, I'm going to tell you, why would she be getting a share of what's coming into Candace if she don't have a dog in the race? I plainly heard her. That's when Candace was talking to her about changing the time of the scream to 5 something instead of 4 something because they were an hour fucking off. They were an hour off with the scream. It wasn't fitting the timeline. And Jodie Sue, all she wanted to know was where her share of the freaking money was. I said, was she giving you a share of hers, Candace? Candace says no. I said, why the fuck you giving her anything? Hang up with her. Just hang up on her. Tell her you want your share of what she's getting too. She don't want to talk about that. But I got your shit cut off, didn't I, Jodie Sue? I got your money cut off. Because Candace hung up. Said, screw you. Because Candace ain't very smart. Her and Don ain't very smart. They wasn't thinking about how much you had coming in from all the shit you were doing and using Summer up for. Right? They weren't thinking about that. And you didn't want them thinking about that. You wanted them to keep giving to you while you was still collecting yours as well. So you all were in it together. You all were in on it together. I'm going to tell you, God don't put nobody's feet where they're not supposed to be. I always say that. And my feet were supposed to be right there, Jodie Sue, listening to your ass have it out with Candace, right? I supposed to be right there. And I was, and I heard that shit. Sure did. And Jodie Sue, I could tell you what I can prove. I can prove that you just got a steel-toe boot in a fucking ass. Right? And you're in PG hell now. Instead of in my chat. Talking your shit. And I'm going to tell you what, that is Andy in this chat. That is the real Andy B in here. Because he always talks the same way. I didn't do it. I had nothing to do with it. This and this and this and this. And not only that, but it has to be him. Because he admitted. He admitted this stuff. That's the way Andy is. You don't want it to be the real Andy in here because he just admitted to shit that you feel could possibly get him into some trouble. Like he admitted that he believes Don and Candace Wells off their own daughter. And that's my opinion too. It is his opinion, that's my opinion. That's why your ass is in here saying dumb shit. You're over here like, I'm protecting you, Andy. Get out of here, Andy. Andy's been verified, Jodie Sue. Been verified. It's the real him in here. So there you go. There you go. Nobody's listening to you. Andy's a big boy, Jodie Sue. He's a big boy. He can go wherever he wants. And I'll tell you another thing about Andy. He's got a wife to watch over him now. He don't need you. He don't need you. If he wanted you, he'd have stayed with you. He didn't. He used and abused you and set your ass free. Right? But you were one of those people that, you weren't like Becca, put a ring on it. No, you were like a Brillo pad. If you love me, you'll use me. Well, he did. He used you up. There's no soap left. That Brillo pad, there ain't no soap left, and it's mother freaking rusty. And he had to leave. He went to get a new Brillo pad, but this time he married it. right? There you go. It just is what it is, right? It is what it is, you guys. I'm telling you. These people, I don't, they mother freaking cray cray, right? Yeah, exactly. She went over there. She called Summer a brat. She called Summer a brat. That brat was wanting a town. She come running through there, wanting a town. I could see in the background. I could see it was Donald coming out of the shower. She didn't call in Child Protective Services saying, "Hey, you got a grown ass man over here. Always be trying to bath with this little girl, and that's just abnormal." But then again, Allison didn't call and say, "Hey, this guy's bathing with this little girl and sleeping in his birthday suit with her in the middle of the bed and the mom's an alcoholic passing out, don't even care what's going on, turning a blind eye to everything." Right? Yeah. Before I go out of here tonight, I wanna play something for you guys. Actually, I want to play a couple of things for you guys before I head out of here. First thing I'm going to play for you is the 911 call. He's still trying to get her. Jose insisted that Candace get Summer out of the shower with Don. And Jose wouldn't have done that unless he heard or saw something really disgusting. He wouldn't have done that. He had to see or hear something. And he wanted her out of there, and he wanted her out of there now. And Candace went to get her. And Don attacked. And Don wasn't going to not be in there with Summer. I mean, he was like, you ain't gonna tell me nothing. Don is a very sick human being. He's a very sick human being. He thinks he owns someone. He thinks he owns these people, like Mary's sister. He thinks he has some right to violate people to violate people in a very evil way. And nobody should say nothing. He thinks he has this right. And that's how he felt with Summer. And he's still going at her. They have to call 911 because he's still going at her. He ain't going to let it go. He isn't going to let it go. Domwell's very forceful, very forceful. As you can see. And this little girl is scared to death. She's got a grown-ass man coming at her. Why? Ask yourself, why is he coming at her? I mean, he just had her in the shower. So why is he coming at her? I think we all know why. He wasn't finished. He wasn't finished in the shower. And he's still coming at her. Like she's a grown woman. She's a 4-year-old child at the time. She wasn't even 5. She was 4. This dude is, my God. How in the hell does anyone support people like this? How does anyone support sick human beings that is going at a 4-year-old? Let me take that back. A 4-year-old little girl. She wouldn't even have been 5 until February of the following year, 2021. She would have been 5 in 2020. This happened in 2020. She was a 4-year-old baby. Just a little bitty girl. God have mercy. And people support him? You got me bent. And they support a woman that stays with him? She knows exactly what's going on here. And she hid it. She hid it. She dropped the charges. He bought her a new vehicle to keep her mouth shut. Grandma took the witness, took Jose, which was witnessing all of this, out of state. Grandma covered it up. Candace covered it up. And Don Wells proceeded to do what he was doing. And nobody was stopping him. Nobody was stopping him. Until something horrible happened. Till something horrible happened. And this little girl couldn't take it anymore. And then, in my opinion, they completely unlived her. To save their own fucking asses. And people support that. Really? You support that? Well, I'm going to tell you, anybody that supports that is as evil as them bastards. You need to check yourself. You need to check yourself, Day Day. You need to check yourself, Jinkies. You need to check yourself, White Boy and his old lady. You need to check yourself. Because something wrong with you too, if you support that.
He tried to hurt my daughter. I'm going to tell you something. This is disgusting. This is disgusting. No 4-year-old little girl should be screaming like this. No 4-year-old little girl should have an old fucker coming at her. No 4-year-old little girl should ever have to endure that. That is disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. But I'm going to tell you what. I got one even better for you. I got one even better for you.
You said you had.
Where the f*** you get that shit from?
Don, you said you had
Holy
videotapes
crap.
of me.
What happened? What? What did you say about me? I have videotapes of Josh, apparently. What the f***?
I don't know why you're laughing.
Holy
You're the one that
crap.
said it.
Are you serious?
Don, you said.
How do you know that I said that? Why would I say that?
Yeah, that's a great question.
Number one, I don't lie, bitch. You can get that to your
I mean, everybody lies.
No, I don't lie. I don't lie, motherfucker.
I'm not sure why Candace thinks it's so funny. I can play it for you if you want to hear it.
Because my boss called me, right?
Uh-huh.
Okay, look, Josh.
Okay.
You can scoff or you can suck a dick or whatever you want to do.
All right.
Whatever the f*** it is you do, you little
Yeah.
okay?
All right.
No, Don, I'm afraid that's what you do. I'm afraid that's what you do. That's why you're accusing him of doing it. You know, when people talk or have certain actions, they're telling you more about them than they'll ever tell you about you. Right? They always are telling you more about their self than they'll ever tell you about you.
But my boss called me the other day. Man. Yes.
Okay.
Richard,
Oh.
he called me. That's it.
Now, you guys listen to this, because he just said that his boss called him, his boss, Richard. I'm going to back it up and let you hear that again.
Yes.
Okay.
Richard,
Oh.
he called me. That's it. That I sold somebody a tape, right? I sold some motherfucker a tape for $5,000 that showed him having sex with my daughter, right?
Did you hear that? Did you hear what he said? He sold it, that Richard calls him and tells him that why did he sell a tape for $5,000 of Richard having relations, improper relations with his daughter. Now listen to him.
And then that's the whole thing. And he was crying. This motherfucker was actually crying. This motherfucker is like a big shot of this community. Like, holy fuck. And he was crying. He says, but they're calling me a child molester. And I'm like,
Did you hear that? Did you hear what Don Wells said? That this man said they're calling me. That means that, you know, that particular daughter was Summer. That particular daughter was Summer. That's supposed to have been on that video. Sold for $5,000. And Candace is laughing her ass off. She's laughing her ass off. Along with Don Wells. About them selling a video of some really sinister stuff
that was happening to Summer by other grown-ass men. We just heard the 911 call with Don Wells doing what he was doing, right? A grown-ass old man. Now we hear that it wasn't just Don Wells. They got videotapes, obviously, is from what Don Wells says. They got videotapes of other old men supposedly doing sinister stuff with Summer. So what the hell was going on? What the hell was going on? And when Don Wells said that law enforcement took that camera, was Don Wells trying to remind law enforcement or someone that they have videos? That they have videos of the people like the boss? That they have videos that they could expose out here to people? Now, let us remember that law enforcement went in as soon as they found out that safe was in the basement. They went in, tore that safe out looking for something. Now, they used bullets as an excuse to go in there and do what they did. But is that what they really was looking for? Was they really looking for bullets, or was they looking for some videos? Could that be why Summer's case has not gotten solved? Could it be why it hasn't been prosecuted? Could it be the reason why all of these evil people are getting away with some really evil stuff? I don't know. I don't know. All I got to say is, if they don't exhume that grave over there to see if Summer's in it, after all the evidence they have that she could possibly be, then there isn't going to be no solving Summer's case. The only thing you're going to be able to do at that point is let this baby rest in peace and turn your back on all of these evil people so they can go stew in their own pot of evilness. What I'm saying is, if everybody just moves on to another case and let Summer rest, then there won't be any outlet out here for Jodie Sue. There won't be no outlet out here for Candace and Dawn anymore. There won't be. Nobody will care. Nobody will care. And nobody, nobody will care about them. Nobody will watch them. They'll just, they'll just have nobody. They'll have nobody. And that's what they deserve. Because you know what? Summer had nobody. Summer had nobody. She had God. And God took her back because she had nobody else to protect her, to watch over her, to care about her. And she should have. She should have. It is our job to care about our neighbors just like we care about ourselves. The Bible tells us to watch over our neighbors so they can dwell safe. And they are to watch over us so we can dwell safe as well. That's why we're here. We're here to work together for all the good, not no bad. But them neighbors were all evil. They were evil just like the Wells. and no one done nothing to help little Summer or her brothers. God had to step in. God had to do it. Summer, in my opinion, Summer is in heaven. I got a feeling that these evil people's probably going to be in somewhere else. Last time I checked, it's called hell. That little girl did not deserve this. She did not deserve this, you guys. No baby deserves this. She hollered for her mom and she got no help. She hollered for her mom. And then anybody help me. Because she knew mom wasn't. That little girl knew her mother was a broken stick. She was screaming for help. And that 911 call did not go nowhere. That 911 call should have been turned over to Child Protective Services. Anytime there is a call and a child being attacked and someone hollering he's hurting a child, it should be turned over to Child Protective Services immediately. Matter of fact, there should be a law that if some call comes in like this, the operator, once law enforcement's there, the operator is supposed to hang up and call Child Protective Services and report that immediately. The officers are supposed to want to see the child, look over the child, and possibly have a worker come up and take the child to the hospital to be looked over before returned back to the home if everything checks out okay. If it doesn't, then someone needs to be going to prison. But they did not do this. They did not do this. There's no protocol. There's no protocol to help children that are in this situation. There's no protocol. And that's why so many children end up used, abused, missing, and unlived. You know, law enforcement talks about how children are their main priority. No, it's not. No, I don't believe that. Because when you call in, law enforcement immediately lets you know that Summer's case is not the only case, and that they have a full-time job with everything else going on besides just this. So it can't be their main priority, right? It can't be their main priority. Absolutely not. And I hate to say it, but Sebastian Rogers' case is going the same way. Put a 1 in the chat if you feel like his case is going the same exact way, because I feel like it is. Where law enforcement's concerned, I feel his case is going down the same exact road as Summers. Something ain't right. Something is not right. And I don't think Tennessee really values children. I really don't. And that's my opinion. I really don't. Because if these people value children, they wouldn't have so many mother freaking RSOs running around. Right? One of them happens to be the sheriff's son, right? I mean, make that make sense. Make that make sense. Hey, Nurse Cindy, how you doing, sweetie? Good to see you. Make it make sense, because it don't. Tell me how that works, because you don't want your boy put in prison for life for doing something awful like that, even though he did it. So how could you try other people? How could you try other sickos with the fullest extent of the law? Kind of seems unfair, right? Kind of seems unfair. Double standard. Double standard for your son, but not everyone else? No, it won't be a double standard. Because, you know, if you understand and you don't want your own child ending up in prison forever, you're not going to put other people in prison as well. You're not going to be doing your job righteously. That's my opinion when it comes to that particular topic and scenario, right? Jodie Sue Brown needs PG for content because she has none. She has none. How many times have you ever seen Jodie Sue Brown making any type of video for summer? When have you seen her ever really put her mind, heart, and soul into Little Summer's case? She doesn't. She wants to open her lives up. And I'm telling you, open that live up. Play PG, Jodie Sue. Play me. Because you know when you're playing me, everybody out there listening is hearing about Little Summer Moon Utah Wells. You remember the little girl that you called a brat? The little girl who, again, was in the shower but no Jose to get her out? And you sure to hell wasn't going to help her, was you, Jodie Sue? You wasn't going to call CPS and report that to stuff right there, because you were busy over there pulling up and unloading and loading up monies, right? You say go over and ask Andy what he was up there giving to Candace, selling to her in order to sedate those little girls, not just Summer, but other little girls. Well, I heard it was you pulling up, Jodie Sue. What was you over there giving? What was they giving you? Because you know what? Whatever you were over there doing, you sure didn't care about that little girl coming and crying and hollering for a towel and wanting to get away from the monster behind her, right? And you said you saw him. It was Don Wells. You said you saw him. And then later you tried to renege on that shit too, didn't you, Jodie Sue? Because that's what you do. That's what you do. You said you wasn't going to stand in front and protect Andy no more. I'm not going to stand in front of him and protect him no more. That tells me you knew every damn thing. And the only reason you ain't protecting him anymore is because you were upset and felt that all of that stuff going on wasn't going to be benefiting you no more. It wasn't going to be benefiting you no more, Jodie Sue, because he's with Becca now and not you. You thought that if you tell a little truth on him, he'd come running back, but he didn't give a damn, did he? And I don't blame him. Jail would probably be better than being with you. Let your people hear that. That's my opinion. I'll keep it. They something ain't fucking right with you. I believe they're covering up as well. I really do love a Scorpio. And I'm going to tell you something. It's a real shame. Oh, I would love that. Absolutely love it, Australia. Your daughter is a beautiful, beautiful human being. And I would be so proud to have her on my panel. Absolutely. I love your daughter. I love you. Yeah, Jodie Sue does nothing but lie. Nothing but lie. And I'm going to tell you something, Jodie Sue. We're going to wait. We're going to stay here and we're going to wait. And we're going to do everything we can to see if she's over there in that plot. We're going to see if she's in that cemetery, if she's in that plot. We're going to do everything we can to get law enforcement to look into it. Everything. And from what I hear, they already are. They already are. And it's a very good possibility it's going to get exhumed. And I'm going to tell you, if that little girl's there, well, I think you're going to get a pair of bracelets too, ain't you? Because you lied about the scream, your old man, everything you've been saying, law enforcement's then going to know that it's true. I think you're all going down. I think you're all going down, and I'm going to pray to my God that you do. And I serve a mighty big God, Jodie Sue, a mighty big God, right? We know who you serve, but I serve a mighty big God, and so does this chat. And we're going to all pray and trust and believe God will be answering. Trust and believe that. God answers prayers, baby. Always, God answers prayers. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes, yes, absolutely, Jack. Thank you for your support. Summer's channel is so appreciated. So appreciated. God bless. Yeah, I'm going to tell you, that little girl, you guys heard the 911 call. No child should ever go through that. No little girl should ever be put through that kind of hell and misery and pain and suffering and fear. No child should ever do that. And I'm going to tell you, you heard the call. You heard them laughing. Candace and Don laughing. These are monsters. When Jodie Sue calls them monsters, she's right. And she's one too. She's one too because she said she ain't standing in front of Andy no more. She's not protecting him. So that tells us, what does it tell us? It tells us that she absolutely knew. She absolutely knew the truth, you guys. She knew what was going on over there. That's how she knew to tell us. Go ask him. Ask him what he was selling to them children. Ask him what he was selling to Candace in order for her to sedate not just Summer, but other little girls to be touched. And you ask him what it was besides weed. That's what she said. So that tells us she knew. She was in on it. She was reaping the benefits of it. And that's disgusting. That's disgusting. I'm going to tell you something. God bless Summer. God bless her. That little girl done more good in her short little 5 years than most folks do in a whole lifetime. That little girl, I'm going to tell you, she may not be with us anymore, but I'll tell you what, she saved her 3 brothers. She gave her brothers a better life. She put a whole army of beautiful people out here together as one family for all of these missing children, including her. That child was nothing but pure light and love, kindness, caring. She was all the things that these evil people weren't. And I think that's exactly why they targeted her to do so much evil too. That little girl was a light in this world, and she still is. And ain't nothing they can do about it. Summer will shine bright forever, while their dark, dull asses will not shine at all. Amen. Listen, you guys, PG is going to get out of here because unlike Jodie Sue, we ain't sold our soul to the devil to be able to stay up 24/7. So you know what? We got to get sleep, right? We got to get some rest. So PG's going to get out of here so we can all rest. And we'll be back tomorrow. We'll be back tomorrow. So Jodie Sue could have more content, right? So she can have more content to use because she ain't got none. But we'll be back tomorrow because there's a whole lot more that I need to put out here for little Summer's sake. And we're going to continue to put it out here. And we're going to do everything we can to get law enforcement moving to exhume that grave if possible. We're going to do all we can. Between now and June the 15th, we're going to really amp it up, and we're really going to try to get all we can done to find this little girl if she's there. Amen. Absolutely. Hey, Nurse Cindy, I appreciate that. PG, we are praying. Absolutely. For Summer. We are praying for Summer, and you know what? We will continue to pray. The best gift that we can give Summer right now is prayer. That's the best gift we can give her. And I'm going to tell you something. Don't forget to fold your hands tonight before you go to bed and ask the Lord, please, 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 God, let this baby be found. Let law enforcement do what needs to be done. Don't let any stumbling blocks be in the way of what needs to be done. Let this baby be found. Let that grave be exhumed. Let us know the truth, Lord. Let us know if she's there, she isn't there. Let us know the truth because we need to know. In the name of your Son, Jesus Christ, amen. We love this little girl. We love her like she's our own. We have, as a family out here, this little girl's become family. She's part of us. And we want to know where she is. We want her found. We want her brothers to know where she is. We want her brothers to get closure. We need closure too. We are very invested in this case. I'm going to tell you something. You don't have to know someone to love them. You don't have to know them. You don't have to meet them, see them, talk to them to love them. You can come to love people that you didn't ever know at all. And that's what we've done with Summer. And that's what we've done with Quentin and all of these other children. Why? Because we're real moms. We're real moms, you guys. We're real mothers. We know what real love is. And we love all children. not just our own. We love all children because every child has a right. Every child has a right to have a good life and not be used or abused or unlived. No child deserves that. Every child deserves a good life. And I'm going to tell you something. There is laws. There is laws in this country that says if you use and abuse or hurt or do any bad to a child in any way, your ass will be prosecuted and put away in prison for it. We want to know why these people are getting away with so much. We want to know why they're getting away with so much because we know that nobody else would. Something ain't right here. But I'm going to tell you what. I don't know what the stumbling blocks are, but I do know God Almighty can remove them. I know God can remove them. And I do know that God can let Summer be found. So keep those prayers going up. Keep them going up, you guys. And know that God's going to answer. Jesus said, when you pray and know that you've already received, and you will. Know that you already got what you asked for, and you will get it. So when you pray tonight for Summer, know that God has already answered, and Summer is going to be found. And have no doubts. Have no doubt. That's the way you get mountains moved. So pray for her. I expect 390 prayers to be going up tonight for this little girl. 390. And Jodie Sue, if you're over there streaming me, I expect all the people listening to your ass to also be praying for this little girl. I expect them to pray for her too, because I'm going to tell you what, unlike you, the people in your chat want this little girl found. They want her brought home, and they want justice too. God bless them. God bless them. And I expect them to pray tonight as well. Good night, everybody. Much love. God bless.